To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament powered by Lenovo and Intel, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. My name is Apollonia. I will be your host for today, and joining me is a very amazing caster and analyst, Shade Slayer. How are you doing today?
I am super pumped. We've been through more than 3 weeks of CSGO action to reach this point. It is grand finals time today. What a way to kickstart this day, Apple.
Exactly. So for the finals, we have Global Esports versus Reckoning Esports. Now, let's have a little recap on what went down through the tournament. And let's talk about the games that both these teams had in the semifinals. Now, let's start with Reckoning Esports. They were against underdogs in the semifinals. What are your thoughts, Shade, on Reckoning Esports' run?
I think the pretty much turning point for Reckoning Esports in this entire tournament run to the finals was that match versus Blaze. We've already covered this multiple times, but I think that pretty much shows the significance of the win on that day. BO1 on Train, they were able to turn things around, fight tooth and nail, went all the way down to the wire. In fact, the 30th round on regulation time, they win it 16-14. And ever since then, they pretty much went from being an underdog team to being one of the teams that was favored to make it to the finals. And their in fact, quarterfinal and semi-final runs, I think, were testament to how strong of a team they are, up against Anime HS and then taking on underdogs 2-0. We expected it to be Reckoning favored, but not by the landslide that it eventually turned out to be.
All right, guys, so we have prepared a little something for you. Let's watch the recap and highlights of Reckoning Esports.
Maps and they're very strong at it as well. Wimp with the nade is going to do decent bit of damage. He's going to take a question. Zed's going down as well, and it's all up to Sneaky in a 1v4 to try and keep underdogs in this. He's good for the first. He's getting pushed in, and that is it. GG, well played. Reckoning Esports 16-2.
Ooh, that could have been a highlight reel. Clouda ends up going down. Close at SL, the spray. Involver, he's way better on his aim. Swat chimes in, and he fights enough distraction perhaps by the rotation, but wham! A monstrous triple kill to bring his team back into this game. With the AWP, they jump down, but they're not accounted for Chris, who is just wrecking them bullet after bullet, kill after kill. He steps up massively and just completely obliterates Blitzkrieg on the B side.
And Ivy as the push comes in towards the B side, and Chris turns around. Oh my lord! The 3-man spray down. Having made that pistol round work, the push through mid catches the offer of God. Wexy somehow still manages to hold on. The flashbang is timed perfectly for him to go for the replay. Can they find the second? Rossi goes huge there, and all Wexy finds two. Chaldo gets the third as well. Wexy gets the fourth. Oh my lord!
Half pistol. Wrecking Thunder knows that he's given away audio cues. Betray. Flash not even needed to be dodged, concealed by the stairway. Swan ends up going down with the wide swing. Betray trying to go for the no scope. Anything's in style. The quick scope.
Flashbang setup is good. Spray onto the first and Betray.
Oh boy.
They're mowing them down one after the other.
But not if you give him this much room to work with. Betray gets the first, and it's just the ops ringing and singing in unison. The nade, who needs that nade? Clouder with the AWP, just shuts things down.
This is rough, Clouda.
Is this the beginning of the end? It certainly seems that way. Clouda sends them back.
Oh, that spray transfer.
All right, some amazing plays that Reckoning Esports have made throughout the tournament. Now let's move on to Global Esports, a very popular team. They have had a CSGO roster for a very long time now. And Shade, any thoughts before we roll their highlights?
Well, at the start of the tournament, we knew Global Esports was going to be one of the finalists, as in everyone kind of predicted that to be the case, and their run has been very dominant, in fact, including their semi-final win versus Phoenix Esports. We believed, I think even you, me, and OG had picked that to go all 3 maps, but it was quite the contrary. Yeah. They blew Phoenix Esports out of the server. There was no 2 questions about that. The question here, though, is there have been many tournaments so far where GE make it to the finals, but it's like one final hurdle that has always been a problem for them. Today, though, they're not going to be going up against one of the teams they expected to be here in the form of Blaze. Instead, it's Reckoning. But take nothing from Reckoning away. They're going to put up a massive fight, and I hope GE turn up with their A game, and this is where they're able to turn their fortunes around.
All right, so before we go into the game, let's have a quick look and recap on Global Esports through the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament.
Probably gonna get the plant in, but he wants to win this duel now. He spots the barrel. Oh no! Oh no! It's just been one of those days. Just been one of those days. Hair Ranger comes in, the captain for the final frag. He says, off the C4, I'm doing this. GG, well played, Global Esports. They are your second grand finalist.
But it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case today. Global Esports.
And it's heading their way fast. But the defense does hold strong here. Hellranger still can't find the duel. Finally wins one out. It's down to a 2v3. Still very much doable here for Centric Esports to try and get themselves onto the scorecard, but they're offering fights one after the other.
Molotov, but the smoke is buying valuable time for level 0 Esports. Are they going to push through that smoke? They have a flashback. A wrong decision. Lightning fast on his aim as well.
Is on point, and now they probably don't want to aggress through kitchen. Lightning fast is waiting here. 2 down and the third.
Yo, the flash primes Hellranger on the peak, and it leaves Caramel in the duel 1 versus 2. He's missed the shot, but he connects it on the second time of asking. It's all left on a 0 cool, and Caramel melts them.
But instead, his life goes down to 3. The spray down the flashback timing is perfect, and Caramel just mows them down. 3, 4. Line them all up.
Global just completely choking their opposition out of air. Deathmaker doing what he does best. Tap, tap, tap. 3 kills. Could be the ace. They just line away. Let's see if they're able to chip away at Global. The numbers certainly are against it, but Deathmaker, it is just... Okay, yeah. Get the ace. Give him the ace. It's the rotations early from Deathmaker, and they commit in through lane. The crossfire set in stone. Hellfighter could mow them all down. The F4 chiming in.
They've ensured that, in fact, that remains the case. However, Hellaf.
Oh, that was brilliant. All right, so without further ado, let's move into the map veto and get all of this started. Now, map number 1 will be Train. We have Inferno for map 2, Mirage for map 3, Overpass for map 4, and Vertigo for map 5. Shade, fire away at your thoughts right off the bat.
Train, I think this is going to be pretty much setting the stage for the entire BO5 final. It's a map that we know Global Esports have picked here for the grand final, but it is a map that Reckoning have pretty much first picked every single time they've had an opportunity in BO1s and BO5s. It's the map where they upset Blaze as well. So I think despite it being a global pick, Reckoning, this is the best chance they have up against GE on all maps put together. So here, getting off to a strong start here not only is going to set themselves up in the lead in a good position for the rest of the series, but it also sends a message across saying that, hey, we can take you on your map pick. Be ready for the rest of the maps that are coming up ahead. Inferno, picked by Reckoning, it's something that they've played time and again quite a bit, but that's a mistake that teams previously have done as well up against GE. In fact, during the semi-finals, it was Phoenix Esports who picked Inferno, and GE pretty much decimated them on that map. So it's a mistake that teams can make time and again. So I hope that Reckoning Esports do have a plan ready. I'm sure they've already watched the semi-final map that GE did play here and adjusted their playstyle accordingly. Mirage, Overpass, I think, are going to be maps that are going to be pretty even with an edge given to GE. Decider on Vertigo. This is something I'm going to favor Reckoning here if it does get to map 5. One, I think GE haven't really been pushed as far as this in any series so far, and it's going to be a true test for them, whereas Reckoning, they've already pretty much gone to the brink of elimination. So I think in the pressure situation, Reckoning, if it does get to map 5, they're going to be in a good position, and I do give them the edge on Vertigo. We know for a fact they love playing maps like Nuke, Vertigo, and they're very adept at playing them as well. So given a full BO5 series that goes to map 5 today, I think Reckoning will take it. But if train goes the way of Global Esports, I think GE should be able to close things out here.
All right, it's pretty much all about the momentum, and we should be going into game very soon. Let's check up on the status, Shay.
Yeah, we're just about waiting for the players to get to pretty much kickstart, and there you go, on cue, Apple. Grand finals time, ladies and gentlemen. 3.5 weeks of action leading up to this very moment. Starting on the CT side, we have Reckoning Esports. On the T side, Global Esports. I am Shade Slayer. Joining me is OG the Low Res Chicken, map 1 of this best of 5 final. OG, take it away.
It's gonna be Reckoning Esports battling on Global in a pretty dead even finals, Shade. We've given the edge to Global considering the amount of experience these players have under their belt. But make no mistake, this has been the tournament of underdogs, and it very well might end in it as such. Global on the T side, rush through Ivy, Vexy, bot bait for Cloud. It's a 3-man setup, but it gets dismantled. Global Esports just pushing on through with the Glock train as they butcher anyone who comes up against them. From the shadows, Reckoning strike, and they've landed one fatal blow. Chris, he's rotating around, essentially leaving Whip in an island of thieves, and they're gonna steal everything away from Reckoning Esports. A really quick and fast-paced round from Global. The contact towards Ivy worked with overwhelming success. Reckoning, they try to play off each other. They hope that after every step, Global Esports, because of the picks they got, they would check their corners, but that wasn't the case. Global, being as clinical and Reckoning, leaving a little loose ends, now getting torn out. The economy now needs to get off to a good start on the CE side, Shade, because we've seen what happens when there is a shortage of utility, right? It becomes almost next to impossible to stop Global to play contact towards A.
And this was a play that was expected from Reckoning Esports. They put 3 players towards Ivy early on, OG, and it didn't really matter. The contact there from 3 players is overwhelming number of people towards Ivy there. They needed those initial couple of frags to go their way almost instantaneously for them to even stand a chance of closing out that round. But when that wasn't really the case, the round pretty much ends up in a flurry. Deathmaker is cleaning up. Global Esports pick up the anti-eco, not losing a single body there to 2-0.
Yep, pretty clinical stuff here from Global on that T side. It's really crucial that they maintain this economy going forth. And so far, Reckoning, not off to the best of starts, but is this really how you want to kickstart your CD side? Being a little low on utility, not having a single defuse kit, especially on a map like Crane, where the T side will play aggressive in the post plant. A lot of things that they could have reconsidered, but hey, it's been working for them tournament long. It might not be the most orthodox strategy or the most safest one, but if it's in their suit, they're damn well gonna fit in it. But now, with the investment, they do have decent weaponry up against Global, but with that slight edge with utility, I feel like Global are more than equipped to take the CQC, as they've done it on multiple occasions. In fact, we've seen this on their semi-final matchup against Phoenix, where even though they might be a little short on utility, they're so precise with their flashes that it doesn't matter. All they need to do is shoot straight and they win the round.
Well, they're going to go for the boost at B halls and look for an opening at the back side. None offered just yet. Betray is going to move in close towards default, while Trist is going to be boosted up. They have brought in backup in the form of Wexy, so they're 3 CTs in towards the B side. 45 seconds remaining. In comes the flashbang. Completely blinds the player out. They get the one, but Betray is in a good position for the punish. He's expecting a backside to come through, but hell cleans up, and Trist goes down as well. Despite the defense being in position, Global Esports unlock it in the blink of an eye, down to a 2v3. Wimp as well as Clouda all the way in the back side. In fact, Wimp is gonna straight up go ahead and make this push. Clouda is gonna spot the player close by. The swing across the caramel catches him on the reload. Wimp, however, gets it down to 1v1. He's down to about 55 health though. Halef in a good position. He's looking towards Heavens. Halef doesn't really want to even offer a fight here. He knows this is working in his way. Wimp, he's out of time. He does not have a kit. He's gonna fall back.
Bye-bye.
There goes the weapon as well. 3-0 Global Esports dismantled the first gun round coming in from Reckoning, but again, Reckoning expected the B hit there, OG. They're getting the read correct. They're just lacking a little bit when it comes to the final third of the execution, OG.
Exactly. That's where the pressure perhaps kicks in. We've seen a lot of experienced players from Global do this on multiple stages, in fact, whereas on the Reckoning side, they have only one member who's tried that test multiple times, that being Trist. The roster's pretty young, but they certainly do have the raw potential in them to perhaps even dethrone Global. This is going to be really down at the wire. Tooth and nail, Betray with the deagle, nails Deathmaker towards ramp. Crucial pick. They've eliminated the danger man. Global. Was their AK going down as well? Now in the hands of Chris, who have said to be a very valuable player when it comes to experience. Betray chiming in with the firepower as he gets yet another with the deagle, making it work. How? These rounds have been plaguing this tournament so far, and they continue to play Global Esports in the grand finals. In fact, I think this is one of the first rounds they've lost against Pistols in the entire tournament.
Yeah, they've been very clinical, in fact, in these anti-ecos. But this one, yeah, Betray just picked up the deagle and says, you know what, I'm turning things around. Seizes the moment, and it's down to 1v3. Lightning Fast already having taken quite a bit of hit here. 34 HP. It's going to be... Yeah, he's given away his position as well. Cloud has spotted him out. The nade should do a decent bit of damage there. Tags him down to 7 HP. Even spots Betray out. But Betray, he's holding the angle. Swings wide, gets the kill. First round on the board for Reckoning 1-3.
That was just Global individually taking fights and losing them all out on a Betray. One deagle and 3 members of Global just fall prey. What a start. This is what Reckoning needed. This should give them the confidence booster they need. Because we've seen them on the CD side and how they can completely shut down these late round executes. Global Esports, they have that AWP on a Caramel. Utility is going to be a little scarce across the board, but they still could make ends meet. Again, Global houses some of the best mechanical talent this country has to offer. So where they might lack in terms of weaponry, they can certainly more than make up for it when it comes to getting the job done. Group up towards B. We've seen this on multiple occasions. Hellranger usually disposes of a late flash that enables this peak. Reckoning, their CT defense towards B has stood tall tournament long. Now, is it going to be the time it fails? The second flash is absolutely beautiful. Pushes both Twist and Betray off their angles. Just one flash, and the entirety of Reckoning suffer. And are now in body bags. 4-1 Global. An absolutely brutal display of skill towards the B side.
That flash might look very simple, but the timing and the precision on the execution there was down to the millisecond perfect. OG. Vikings, Wimp should get spotted out here, gets cleaned up, leaving Clouda alone. But the timing there, the player atop the train, as well as the AWP watching heaven, both get simultaneously blinded, allowing the keys a good 2 seconds to move into the site, take that opening frag. Oh, nice lineup there from Clouda. He's going to clean up on the 2 CDs, allowing him to hang on to the AK there, but small win in the grand scheme of things. Another perfectly orchestrated B hit from GE gives them the 4th round on the board. Reckoning, they do have, I think, a decent bit of money to force buy into this. It will be a little light on utility and a FAMAS onto Waxy. But Betray, importantly, is able to bring out that AWP.
Yeah, this perhaps might be what turns the ship around. And now Global with the fast-paced hit towards the A side. They've been changing this up quite a bit. Reckoning, are they going to be ready for this is the question. Deathmaker already taking a kill to his tally. Vexy, he's good to the refrag. But again, there's so much control towards the yard from Global Esports. It's essentially Reckoning playing happy feet while the floor is lava. Now the man disadvantage added on the back of it. Caramel, he's gonna melt the defenses down a sweet slope. And this has become the undoing of Reckoning at this A side here. This op from Caramel perfectly plays the long distance. And Reckoning, even though they're trying to play things at range, they are simply outdueled. Caramel, so incredibly precise. This man has not been awake throughout the decent bit of the tournament because he did not need to. The entirety of Global was there to secure this path down at the grand finals. Now, when his team might need him, he turns out to be the X factor. He comes up alive and he comes up massive. 5-1 Global off to a fly start here on Trade.
Well, back onto pistols here, and it is contact from Trist. He's going to try and take this up in personal. He hears the footsteps through. Timing is going to be everything. The pre-fire, in fact, coming through, and LF is going to get no. He is able to readjust back in time, and Deathmaker should have a shooting gallery here as they push through the smoke. Wimp could have made things a little interesting if he gets the opener there, but the kills come in thick and fast. GE, they do lose a couple of players up against pistols alone. Waxy. I'm surprised he didn't spot the head out there, but shouldn't really be allowed to chase this. Halef is very close there. Peaks.
Yep.
Perfect time. 6-1, and now the buy should be back in for Reckoning. AWP immediately onto the hands of Betray, but the last time around, that was a stellar A hit, OG. Smokes, the timing on the push, just straight up completely blinds the players of Reckoning who were playing pretty much default as well as connector, allowing the backstab to come in. Halef as well as Deathmaker pretty much ran so much distraction for Caramel, who pretty much had all the world to op from behind. Big opening though towards the B site. Waxy Seems like they've readjusted here. They're trying to play aggressive ahead of the smokes, Clouda and Waxy. Both holding aggressive positions, but if the flash is timed right, it could work in their favor here. Waxy is still continuing to be blind and he takes down Caramel. That's a big kill. And Halaf going down, leaves it all down to Deathmaker. Should go down momentarily here. Clean round from Reckoning Esports. A quick readjust to what Global Esports attempted the last time, and it works wonderful.
Beautifully done from Reckoning, and the fact that their defense was up close and personal, that's something that I assume that they might pan out of just due to the fact that Global have been real quick on their A hits, right? But it took enough downtime between Global setting up to take that aggressive stance, and they held it. They held it. That is the important part, because when Global set up their hit towards A, they were so vulnerable. Reckoning were in a perfect position to capitalize. Now, Global Esports realized that, and they're trying to play around it. They've been set up in positions that can deal with this aggressive stance later on. They will have support coming in from the top of T Connector and the top of SL. The bomb position certainly does indicate that it is going to be an A hit, but they're a little slow on their approach. They want to make sure that Reckoning get to a position where they feel a little too comfortable. Just watching for that aggressive stance, if there is any offered. The smoke through back of Ivy and to its side thrown, and now comes the flashes. Are Reckoning going to be ready? Maxi on the wide swing connects onto the first, and this is just the bait and switch coming into full fruition. Cloud has taken the time to get a top Olaf, but the problem is he was a little too exposed, and Deathmaker quick to the kill. A 1 versus 3 in fact, as Triss left with an all to do. One of the most experienced man from the Reckoning roster now needs to come up massive, but he's going to go down a body bag as Hellraiser drags him all the way down to hell. 7-2, and Global Esports dismantle the investment coming in from Reckoning.
Again, the timing, slight readjustment there from Global Esports. They don't commit pretty much on first contact there. They lose Caramel early on as well as Halef, but they wait a good 5 seconds there on the re-engage, back out. The timing near perfect. AWP didn't have a say at all in that entire fight. 2-7, Reckoning. They will be able to buy in here, but this is going to be their final buy. They're very light on utility as well this time around. So they're pretty much going to have to rely on a couple of aim duels here to win them the early engagement.
Yeah, Global. Even when they've offered those kind of deals, it's usually a bait and switch, right? Where they immediately trade it off and look for the person who's coming to get that frag. So they end up always taking that man advantage and walking ahead in the trade, which is never really favorable, especially when you're giving away a crucial position, and especially when you're trying to do it at the CT side, where that man disadvantage is going to be very expensive and very hard for you to deal with on a map like Trade nonetheless. Global have made their presence towards A quite obvious, and Reckoning still not going to budge. They're still going to rotate and get boots towards the A side. They just want to stand strong and hold the defense for where it is. And Global are taking that comfortable time as well, down to 30 seconds, as they now try and commit towards the B side, anticipating a Reckoning rotation. But that is simply not going to be the case. Due to their aggressive setup, they know that there is something fishy on the waters, and Deathmaker is going to pay for it with his life. Caramel, as consistent as ever, finds the refrag, but there is yet another man towards B, and he's not going to be accounted for. The wide swing towards the side, Lightning Fast going to be denied his life, but the bomb does go down. A 2 versus 4 on the retake, and there is no Molotov, so Global to deny the tap on the bomb. They need to go into these engagements. Hellraiser lining up his God Flash towards the side. The flick not in from Caramel, a little overwhelmed. Understandably so as well. Hellraiser now falls back. There's no use of giving away the rifle. A little damage done perhaps, maybe save the op. Gonna be a little far for the task, but it's going to be a beautiful retake coming in from Reckoning. The deny, if I'm not wrong, that is Vexy towards side. It was done at the best possible time. Just due to the fact that the rotations came in at that exact moment, there was no way that Global could have traded that frag, even if they did try to. Huge attempt there for Caramel to get perhaps a pick and fall back, maybe by distraction for Hellraiser's strike. But hey, lightning doesn't strike at the same place all the time for a reason, right? And I guess Hellfighter given a little bit of a difficulty when it comes to this matchup. I've not seen him or Global, in fact, struggle throughout the entire tournament. Now it seems like Reckoning are finally putting in a little bit of sweat in the beast themselves.
Yep, a quick timeout called by GE there is pretty much those two early duels lost that put GE the numbers down, and eventually when they did go for the plant towards the B side, the planter had to be left in a pretty vulnerable position since the two remaining Ts were holding a slightly more passive angle from B halls, and unfortunately post plant he wasn't really able to get into a good position, bring it down to a 2v4 on the retake. Yeah, the odds were heavily stacked against them there to try and make anything happen, but Reckoning, solid response back over to GE, but they've done this on a couple of occasions previously as well, OG. They've not really been able to string rounds together. They've had isolated success, and in the long run, GE will be able to push past Reckoning and take a very significant lead unless things do change around.
Yeah, this aggressive setup though might just end up favoring them. Global have been very clinical in the way they approach towards these late round situations. Is this going to be one of them is the question. So Clouda is in a position where he can shut this all down. The flash is perfect. Nails him and they take him. Vexy playing very close to E-Box. He's just biding his time and waiting for the perfect opportunity, but it just is not meant to be. Global, the slaughter towards the A side continues.
Vim, however, did get a 2k there on the spray, and now things are doable for Reckoning. They do have a kit, but health on Wimp is critical, and as soon as Trist goes down, the gig is up. 9 HP, he's not going to be able to have much of a spot on Deathmaker's foot. Does he really want to take a tap, though? As soon as he taps a couple of times, Deathmaker's just going to instantaneously turn around and give him a piece of the big green. So, Wimp, I think he might have just pretty much signed his own death warrant then having a go at this, because Hellranger is giving the chase. They're coming in.
Bye-bye.
He's good on the first. There is Hellranger here as well, and he's going to be able to make good on the trade. No rifle saves. I don't, however, think it was worth it, though, for Wimp there at the end.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't. But see, here's the thing. I understand what Reckoning Esports are trying to do. On the CD side defense, when they're playing aggressive, they're playing apart but together. The only problem there is there's no refrag setup. They're in position to try and deal with the contact play when it comes out. But you need that avenging frag, right? You need to fight from a man neutralizer, not a man disadvantage. That is something that Reckoning need to give a second here to, and perhaps play around with how they're playing aggressive. Because when Global Esports play around the 40-second mark, they're very clinical. They flash every offense.
Clouda!
I guess he knows every single angle, right? I mean, it all comes out of angles. Seems like Clouda is quite good at trigonometry. Trist playing alongside the smoke. He certainly likes to deliver a twist when it comes to such situations. Deathmaker should just down him though. Yep, back turn with the op takes him down 9-3. And I guess it's just not meant to be, Shade. The CD side of Reckoning Esports right now getting dismantled, but they still have a good opportunity to try and redeem themselves here in the first half. A 9-6 half? That'll be the worst thing. Certainly it's not the best thing as well.
Yeah, but every one of those rounds is very crucial here for Reckoning. If they are to stand a chance at the switch, GE have been stellar on their offense here. It's not often that you see a team on the T side be able to accomplish what GE has so far, especially in a grand final setting, right? Caramel, the flashbang again. It's just the simple plays, right, OG? They've been able to get that to perfection time and again. Wimp, nade out. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
He's giving away his voice as well. That is Global Esports just playing off audio cues in this round. All they did was hear. They were able to get a lot of pressure and damage done due to it. But Twist, again coming in with the twist into the play. This time it's the double spray. Hellraiser from far away, trying to deliver the tap that might send Vexy packing. Luckily, Betray with the USP straight out guns him down. 9 of 4. And like you said, every single round from here on out is going to be very valuable if Reckoning Esports are able to pick it up. The only difference is Global, even though they have such a massive lead, they don't have a massive economy backing them. Reckoning have done really good in denying Global economy by taking guns consistently off their hands. So it's going to be in a position where Reckoning will be on the superior end of the stick. The only question is, are the Deagles going to do it again, Shake?
Donate good, and he's almost going to line him up there. Trist only finds the one as Deathmaker runs him over with the SMG there. Mac 10 mow down Deathmaker. Ooh. Got hyper aggressive there, and now things look a little dicey for the T's. They have an aggressive crossfire setup in Lightning Fast as well as Hell F. 2 CTs towards connector. They're just waiting for the smoke to go down, and Lightning Fast, in fact, going for the big loop around. Timing's going to be critical here. Hell F, they're going to move back. C4 is not planted, mind you. So they can quite as easily make the rotate across, get the opening frags up at connector, and get the plant in for A. It's all going to come down to Betray if he can find this opener. He misses this. It is curtains. He spotted out the barrel. He misses the shot, though. The wide swing, and they will be able to respond back, and Hellap gets cleaned up. Wimp steps up massive there for Reckoning Esports. 5th round on the board. Global Esports, it came in with a very minimal investment the last time around, primarily to set up for a full buy here for the last round of the first half. Reckoning Esports, they're doing much better on the firepower department though. Only Trist will have to make do with a FAMAS or back into the hands of Betray. Let's see if Reckoning will be able to prevent GE from hitting double digits here, OG. The straight up rush down. They get the first, but the two-man peak gets the job done. But Betray with the AWP all the way back aside. He misses the second flick. GE just play that round so fast, OG.
I mean, it's just pure contact play at this point. In Global, they know that they are on the superior end when it comes to the firepower, which has been tried and tested. Global now in a position to take double digits. Being a little cheeky, bomb not yet planted. Ooh, if he would be able to down Hellfire in range, could have been a doable 1 versus 1. It is going to be Global that has won the half nonetheless. 10-5. Double digits posted up on the T side. Really good start here for their best of 5 grand finals. It's going to be on a reckoning right now to try and return the favor, because it's only on a map like Crane and maybe Vertigo that I'd give them the edge over Global. On every other map, I feel like Global would have the superior edge when it comes to execution, aim, even playing off each other and the CD side. I'd say Global Esports would have every single aspect of the other maps covered. If Reckoning don't win this right now, it'll be a Reckoning final for them. Caramel buying bait as usual, lightning fast. Beautiful job on dismantling the Glock crane towards Ivy. Something, in fact, Reckoning Esports could not do on their CD side pistol. So Global, with 1 man less, prove that they can get better results. 11-5, Global. It feels like a breeze here, at least in map 1.
Well, they take the pistol, and that should set themselves up for a much more comfortable start to the second half here. Reckoning Esports, a quick hit towards Ivy, something that in fact Global tried and were able to accomplish it successfully during their first round pistol as well. But the difference there was the crossfire setup was just stellar from Global Esports. The second player manages to get 2 frags and is able to shut things down. Deathmaker, he's got players all around him. Doesn't carry most. 2 players down regardless with the quick 360, but the push. Wimp. Able to readjust back out. He heard him. That's a gig up.
Yeah, I guess the spider senses might be a little tingling. Nonetheless, at range, the shutdown of the hopes and dreams of Reckoning even trying to get a bomb plant. Global, only losing Deathmaker in this round so far. A really good job done by them. I think this is one trend we've seen of Global consistently throughout the tournament, right? Playing that economy game in a very disciplined fashion, where even if they do lose a couple of rounds in between, it's not often that they're caught with their economy in a very bad quarrel. Something that I feel many Indian teams should take going forth, because this is a very solid system of CS, where it's more consistent on whichever side you do play. Global, displaying how it works to full effect, blowing Reckoning out of the water. I think this is the first time in the entire tournament as well where Reckoning have been made to look this inferior in a matchup, where Global are clearly asserting their dominance.
Well, flash set up through, lightning fast, able to readjust back out. Deathmaker's still continuing to dance around the edge, and he's got one. He's gonna get Clouder. Readjust, Lexi. Bye bye. Good night. See you next round.
See you next round, indeed. Deathmaker. It's like he has a dance in his mind, right? And he's trying to play it with Reckoning, going on the aggressive stance at E-Box. Man has no fear whatsoever. Like, you want to duel me? Come, give me one at a time. Bam, bam, bam. All of a sudden, round's over. Reckoning. Their contact towards A certainly not working out. This is the difference, right? You mentioned in the round where Global and their T side hit towards the B side. It's about how precise that flash is and the timing of it. We can see the difference now, right? Where Reckoning throw the flashbangs and Global Esports are the least affected. But when it was in return and Global Esports on the D side were hitting towards the A side, everybody from Reckoning were blind. Every single one of them. That shows the clear difference that utility and good utility plays in the grander scheme of duking it out in a team versus team basis.
Well, this has been a textbook performance coming in from GE here in map number 1. It is a long final though, OG. It's a best of 5. It's a long road ahead, but this was a map that I'm sure we expected it to be the closest, considering this is Reckoning's go-to first pick in their matches as well, OG. They've played this innumerable number of times, and the way Global Esports have dismantled them on this, I think is sending a strong message out saying, hey, unless you're able to readjust quickly for map number 2.
Ooh!
Well, Betray, I think he already got the message loud and clear there. Oh, miss though from Trist. Should have been a much easier kill, and Hell Ranger is able to punish the backstab coming through. He's still not managed to get him. The
Oh no.
crossfire setup just about moves it into position, and now 2 remaining CTs, however, all the way up at the A side. Deathmaker, not the player you want to go up against when you're trying to make a desperate push here. All in, Wind goes down, Betray, goes to the peak, through the smoke, alrighty then. Brings it down to a 1v1. He's going to get the plant in to try and prevent GE from getting map point here in the first map of the grand finals. Halef looking to make a play through the smoke. Betray has the AWP. Point blank range. Can he make it happen? He's being spotted out. Quick readjust back out. He's going to try and play the ring around the Rosie. Checks the wrong way, and Halef has got this.
Wow.
He read it.
Absolute silence. And Hellfighter was down dropped silent. He didn't make a single squeak. It is to a point where I feel Betray under the pressure felt like Hellfire was trying to do something completely ridiculous when he just held his ground. That's how you win a duel purely of mind games and having those ice cold nerves. Hellfighter certainly showing off his skill here in the grand finals. And in what fashion as well, right? When Reckoning Esports have been riding that underdog train, Global Esports proving to us yet again they're one of the most dominant teams in India, completely derailing the Reckoning Esports train in its tracks. Brutality is perhaps the only word that can caption this first map in this best of 5 matchup so far, as Global have no mercy whatsoever. Reckoning working with blood, sweat, and tears for the 5 rounds that they have gotten the Flash setup. It is just so broken from Global with the way they're playing around each other. Reckoning playing apart really is not going to be an option for them. They're getting picked apart piece by piece into pieces, which has happened on both the CT and the T side. They're trying to hold on to this here, but Global, they have made their intentions loud and clear. It's to send Global Esports packing, and this might potentially even be the end of map 1. A 5v5 post plant, a ninja defuse attempted, but not yet committed. Betray coming in with an absolutely massive kill, and I think he's just, yeah, he's done just about enough. That still did come close to the wire, while Global Esports were a mile away in terms of rotations. 15-6 nonetheless, Reckoning Esports keeping themselves alive, but for just a little longer.
Ooh, that 2-man spray. That second spray was pretty much the absolute last bullet that connects in to down the diffuser. Else, Reckoning, it was pretty much curtains for them here on train, but they managed to hold on for now. GE in a force by looking pretty delicate, but they managed to bring up the double X. And they're playing contact up front. Lightning Fast gets the opener, and that's going to send them scurrying back towards Ivy, but straight into the open arms of Halaf, who has the AWP ready and trained there as well. Where are they going to go, OG?
It has been quite the one-sided affair here, but Global, they are slowly but surely putting an end to this Reckoning story. Again, the Pistols prevail 16-6. I have not seen Reckoning be dominated this badly so far.
Indeed, man. And with that, it will be Global Esports taking train in a dominating fashion. 16-6, Apple. Not the scoreline we expected going into map 1.
Well, you know, Train was picked by Global Esports. It was theirs. So the second map will be a pick from Reckoning Esports. We might see them shine on the second map, but the first one, very well done by GE. They knew what they were getting into. Train is a map that they're so comfortable with. We have seen them play on Train a few times this tournament, and overall, it was pretty one-sided, I would say.
Yeah, what we expected this to be though was a lot tighter. Like I said during the pre-game, this is a map though picked by Global Esports here in the grand finals. It is Reckoning's go to pick every single time in all the other matches. This is where they took down Blaze as well, and they've pretty much first picked Train from every single series from that point on. But to get undone as they did by GE, there the timings of the flash, the executes on the T side round after round, primed to millisecond perfection, and Global Esports deservingly take the 1-0 lead. Does set us up for an interesting rest of this best of 5 final, Apple.
All right, guys, this is the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament you are watching, powered by Lenovo and Intel, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. We will be prepping for map number 2, so don't go anywhere. Sit back, relax, and enjoy these highlights.
Probably gonna get the plant in, but he wants to win this duel out. He's past the barrel. Oh no! Oh no! It's just been one of those days. just been one of those days. Hair Ranger comes in, the captain for the final frag. He says, off the C4, I'm doing this. GG, well played, Global Esports. They are your second grand finalist.
But it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case today. Global Esports.
And it's heading their way fast. But the defense does hold strong here. Hellranger still can't find the duel. Finally wins one out. It's down to a 2v3. Still very much doable here for Centric Esports to try and get themselves onto the scorecard, but they're offering fights one after the other.
Molotov, but the smoke is buying valuable time for level 0 Esports. Are they going to push through that smoke? They have a flashback. A wrong decision. Lightning fast on his aim as well.
Is on point, and now they probably don't want to aggress through kitchen. Lightning fast is waiting here. 2 down and the third.
Yo, the flash primes Hellranger on the peak, and it leaves Caramel in the duel 1 versus 2. He's missed the shot, but he connects it on the second time of asking. It's all left on a 0 cool, and Caramel melts them.
But instead, his light goes down to 3. The spray down the flashback timing is perfect, and Caramel just mows them down. 3, 4. Light them all up.
Global just completely choking their opposition out of air. Deathmaker doing what he does best. Tap, tap, tap. 3 kills. Could be the ace. They just line away. Let's see if they're able to chip away at Global. The numbers certainly are against it, but Deathmaker, it is just... Okay, yeah. Get the ace. Give him the ace. It's A. The rotation's early from Deathmaker, and they commit in through lane. The crossfire set in stone. Hellfighter could mow them all down. The F4 chiming in.
They've ensured that, in fact, that remains the case. However, Hellaf. Maps, and they're very strong at it as well. Wimp with the nade's going to do decent bit of damage. He's going to take a question. Zed's going down as well, and it's all up to Sneaky in a 1v4 to try and keep underdogs in this. He's good for the first. He's getting pushed in, and that is it. GG, well played. Reckoning Esports 16-2.
Ooh, that could have been a highlight reel. Clouda ends up going down. Close at SL, the spray. Involver, he's way better on his aim. Swat chimes in, and he buys enough distraction perhaps by the rotation, but wham! A monstrous triple kill to bring his team back into this game. With the AWP, they jump down, but they're not accounted for Chris, who is just wrecking them bullet after bullet, kill after kill. He steps up massively and just completely obliterates Blitzkrieg on the B side.
And Ivy, as the push comes in towards the B side, and Chris turns around. Oh my lord! The 3-man spray down. Having made that pistol round work, the push through mid catches the offer of God. Wexy somehow still manages to hold on. The flashbang is timed perfectly for him to go for the read. Can they find the second? Rossi goes huge there, and all Wexy finds 2. Chaldo gets a third as well. Wexy gets the 4th. Oh my lord!
Half pistol. Wrecking Thunder knows that he's given away audio cues. Betray. Flash not even needed to be dodged, concealed by the stairway. Swat ends up going down with the wide swing. Betray trying to go for the no scope. Anything's in style. The quick scope.
Flashbang setup is good. Spray onto the first and Betray.
Oh boy.
They're mowing them down one after the other.
But not if you're given this much room to work with. Betray gets the first, and it's just the ops ringing and singing in unison. The nade. Who needs that nade? Clouda with the op. Just shuts things down.
This is rough, Clouda.
Is this the beginning of the end? It certainly seems that way. Clouda sends them back.
Oh, that free transfer.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament powered by Lenovo and Intel, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. We are now ready with map 2, and let's just go quickly into the veto, and we can see all the maps that will be played today. Now, map number 1 was taken by Global Esports on Train. A very good performance, 16-6, pretty one-sided. And now map number 2 will be on Inferno. Thoughts, Shade?
Well, we pretty much had all our predictions thrown outside the window when GE pretty much decimated Reckoning on Train. We expected GE to kind of have the edge going into that, but we did not see them winning it by a landslide. And now Inferno, which is indeed Reckoning Esports' map pick, I think is a strong suit for GE as well. And I think it is testament to that, the fact that GE are actually starting off on the T side here on Inferno. Almost every single time we've seen teams opt to start CT, but the confidence in which GE played out their T side on Train, I think, is pretty much prompted them to go for this decision here. And I think I'm gonna still have to side with GE to take the second map here as well, Apo.
All right, guys. So remember, this is the grand finals of the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament you are watching. And we are on to map 2. This will be a best of 5. So the first team to win 3 maps will ultimately be champions of this tournament. Now, we can get into game. I'm pretty sure we are ready.
Yeah, we're just moments away from jumping in. In fact, the reset comes in pretty much Apple on cue as always. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the action. GE leads 1-0, starting off on the T side, while Reckoning on the CT side. Their map pick, it is their time to turn up in this grand final, OG.
It is Reckoning Esports, a map where undoubtedly Global are going to be comfortable as well, but the only question here being, are Reckoning going to be able to turn the ship around? Their only hope headed into this best of 5 and their win condition essentially was to win out map 1, to win out Train, to try and push this all the way to Vertigo where perhaps they've had the edge. Now, the story might just change. Phoenix, we saw them get absolutely butchered against Global Esports on this very map day before yesterday in the semifinals matchup. The only question here to ask is, have Reckoning come in with their homework? It's gonna be a lot of work required if they want to try and topple Global Esports. We've been having a blast seeing a lot of underdog runs in the Rise of Legion so far, and this tournament might as well be called Rise of Reckoning because we've seen them in a form we've not really seen these players ever be at before. They've been showing an absolute stellar show online up against teams like Team IND, where they, in fact, on this map, beat them 16-7. So can't really take much away from them, but you can't really give as well, considering that they're up against what we consider India's best team to offer. What do you think your predictions are going to be in this shade? Do you think that Reckoning have it in them to try and at least touch double digits, or do you think Reckoning might turn the ship around and even take the W when it comes to Inferno? What's your thoughts headed into this best of 5 grand finals in map 2?
I firmly believe Reckoning Esports do have it have what it takes to go toe-to-toe with GE and even more so. But the question that comes here is the mental fortitude that Reckoning has coming into the stage has pretty much got blown out of the server on train, and unless they've managed to put that behind them and are able to reset here, I believe this is going to pretty much continue things on a similar note. That being said, Clouda does end up going down. Helef finds the open, and Deathmaker continues to pressure early in towards Banana. They, however, don't want to give up control here. Triss trying to go aggressive. Wimp ready to challenge as well. This fight pretty much is going to define this round here at this point. The flash comes in, doesn't really do much work there. Wimp able to get the second hit in as well, but he sees his teammate go down. Backups in from CT, but Global Esports are going to slow things down. Don't really need to commit to anything at this point of time. A wide peek across Waxy. Does get the crisp headshot in. 2v3 now. It's down to Lightning Fast and Hellranger. Do they want to commit? They swing wide. C4, it's down. Hellranger left with an all to do. He's got the first headshot in. 2v1. Picks up the C4 and is going to try and wing it towards the A site. He should expect the backstab to be in position here. Betray. He's holding the angle down. Smoke towards Coffins. Hoping Wexy will peek wide out, giving Hellranger an opening duel. But Wexy is just set up defensively inside of construction. Hellranger with the C4 shouldn't really be able to even get the plant in, let alone isolate himself. The push through from Wexy, timing's perfect as Hellranger spends a few more seconds trying to clear out the site and ends up paying for it. Pistol round to Reckoning, the absolute best start that they could have expected here in map 2.
Yep. I really liked what Hellranger was trying to do there in that 1v1, where that smoke towards side essentially allows him to make contact, because he knows for a fact that Reckoning Esports are playing a little split. He could potentially take advantage of that, try to boil it down to 1v1. A really good job on a Vexy, though, to not offer him that fight that early on. He bought a lot of time and made sure the Hellranger sweats before he gets an engagement, perhaps to catch him with an iffy and itchy finger, which in fact was the case. Reckoning, it did come close, but they were able to step up individually and net themselves the pistol. And we've seen Global Esports on multiple occasions, even if they do get upset at the slightest, the Deagles are more than just enough for the monsters on this roster. In fact, it's going to be on the MP9 to try and net them a flurry of frags, and they run away with the man advantage. Global Caramel. Oh my goodness, this is so awkward. I think it did just about spot Betray as well. So they have an inkling as to how Reckoning Esports are approaching the retake, and they play smart. They get aggressive through CT, knowing that two members are going to be towards Banana. They want to put themselves in a position where the fight they take is a high percentage one. Hellranger, he's playing off audio cues, trying to catch them off guard, and he does. Betray ends up going down. The Dink almost got the job done, but the Kush, due to the lack of armor, ends up being just about enough for Clara to win out that engagement. 2-0. Global Esports not only put a dent in the Reckoning economy, but they also got a bomb plant. So they're off to a good start here, and they could get the buy coming in. A lot of utility up on the board, Jade. This is the difference between one bomb plant and no bomb plant. If there's no bomb plant, there'll probably be 2 Molotovs. It might be a little scarce in terms of nades, 4 smokes, and a couple of flashes. Now they have everything they need to work with, and this could potentially be Global Esports taking control here on map 2.
The first gun run coming in for GE. They've got themselves the 5 AKs. Early damage taken in from Deathmaker, down about 483. DM poking towards apartments. Wimp and Wexy, though, they've done a fantastic job so far at this place. The last round was a little tricky, though. They end up getting only the 1 kill on the trade. Luckily, the backstab timing just works out perfection, and Wimp spots the first. And Wexy Doesn't go for the face. Instead, he's playing a pretty passive angle there. Does allow him to fall back towards the site pretty easily, but it means Wimp pretty much goes down without a fight. Deathmaker trying to poke towards short A. They can loop around towards Arches. It's just Betray here, who's playing a passive angle all the way back from side, and Deathmaker spots Clouda.
Yeah.
Forces him
Side.
back.
3-man defense towards A. Reckoning had the right read here, but Global have been good to punish Reckoning even when they've not done anything wrong. What's the play here? 24 seconds left. They need to commit. The smoke towards Moto will isolate the play towards Arches, leaving Clouda and Trist set up with the crossfire, and it chimes good for now. Betray, aggressing, not finding connection. Ends up boiling this down to 1 versus 1. Deathmaker left with only 10 HP to work with. This man, he's been quite the guillotine. The top fragger in the previous map looks to clutch it out for Global here in map 2 when they have nothing to work with so far. And he's going for an absolutely high risk but high reward play. Vexy, considering the plan, you won't expect this Deathmaker. Are you going for the slice and dice? Come on, give it to us. Give it to us! It doesn't matter. The outplay, the 200 IQ game coming in from Deathmaker completely destroys Vexy. Who cares if he's even on 1 HP? This man is on another level right now. 2-1. And Global start things off here on Inferno and in the perfect time as well, as they completely dismantle the Reckoning Esports economy.
Man, cold as ice as he comes back across. He doesn't pull the trigger. He had a very good opportunity to do so at the first look, but trigger discipline down to the T. He cool and calm clutches it out, and GE get their first round on the board immediately. The money suffering on the Reckoning CT side here. Good flashbang. Lightning fast, fully blinded up. He's just got almost one. He's got the frags in, and yeah, the 2 remaining CTs coming in all the way from Banana. It should be.
It should be. Oh, Hellfighter, buddy, the spray actually fails him. Frag Dusk on the way of Clouda has the AK with Deathmaker yet again. So precise at clicking heads. 2-2 and Reckoning. They do a decent bit of damage at least, right? It's 3 men down on the side of Global. Now comes the part where Global need to reinvest, which in turn, where Reckoning went around, they'll be in a position where they can string them together and get some momentum done. This, mind you, was the exact play that Global did on Train, where they did not allow a lot of saves coming in from the side of Reckoning, keeping their economy low, trying their best to make sure they deny as much as they could on the CD side. Because at the end of the day, the CD side economy is the harder one to manage. It's very less compared to the T side in terms of rewards and encouragement to get back in. So yeah, Global doing an absolutely beautiful job here early on Inferno, and Reckoning. They absolutely need to make sure that they do not get shut down in the first half like they did on the first map, or else we've seen how Global Esports play when they're at their comfort zone. Deathmaker, Caramel, when they're all zoned in and the only thing they can care about is the game, at that point, you need to run for the hills. You need to run for your life.
Reckoning did go for the force buy the last time around, and that's gonna mean a pretty hard eco coming through here. Absolutely nothing invested in except the late buy P250 onto Vexy. Should be around going the way of GE here with them taking the lead. Look how the contact goes here towards the Artist. It is LF. He's got it down. Scratch that. an instant delete, and Deathmaker now pretty much has the entirety of apartments to himself. Rotations coming through from Wexy though with the P250 shouldn't really matter, as Global Esports are grouping up by the numbers towards the A site. Caramel and Deathmaker leading the charge.
This is gonna be Reckoning's chance at trying to dent the economy of Global yet again. Sadly, as the kills go by, it just starts to become one bloody chapter in this book here for Reckoning. For a long time, throughout the tournament, have Reckoning been what I'd say is a powerhouse throughout the tournament for every underdog team that we did see. They have defied all expectations and made it to the finals. Prior to the tournament, if you had asked me what gonna be Reckoning's placing in a tournament like this, I'd say maybe at least to the top 10. But reaching it all the way to the grand finals, it's certainly a feat that they've accomplished. And there is still more to be written. The only question is, are Reckoning gonna have anything positive written about them, or is this just gonna be a one-sided global display of talent? Because right now it feels like after map 1 and after that third round upset that Global just did, there is so much that's pumping within them to drive them so much far ahead. 3-2, and now they have the lead here in Inferno.
And the buy is not great at all. 5 M4s minimum in terms of utility, no kits on the table, and they're pretty much gonna have to play contact here towards the B side. The second smoke goes down. Waxy is pretty much all alone. The pop flash through. He's trying to preemptively fire, and he's gonna find Hellranger, in fact, through lightning fast. A team flash there, setting them up for this. It does put a lot of onus on Deathmaker to fight this. Oh, that tag onto a twist. Aye. All he wanted to do was the boost, OG. All he wanted was the boost.
And look at him now. He's scared. He's anxious. He's left unanswered as to what to do now as Global approach the A side. Maybe hide? But Global have been very clinical, not leaving a single stone left unturned. And right now, they're throwing a boulder at them. They know that the Reckoning A side defense is weak. They have not committed the clear towards pit and apartments, which might end up costing them. Twist, the defensive smoke's out, and lightning fast, always a step ahead in these engagements. 3 versus 3, and Global boiled this down to a man neutralizer. Now the clock works against Reckoning Esports. They need to be the ones taking the aggressive starts. They need to be the ones going into the picks, and they are up for the pick. And Caramel, with ease, downs Betray, and Vexy still left confused and dazed as to what happened to the rest of his team. Global, at this point, these individual engagements alone are being won out by the T side. It just makes it all the more harder from the CD side when things like Crossfire and Buddy systems fail to deliver any consistent results.
A gamble there from Reckoning, sending 3 CTs towards the B site early in the round, and the fact that Trist got wall banged there significantly low meant Global Esports had a far easier time making that play towards the A side. The flashbang again, as always, on point, blinds the 2 CTs in position, and Deathmaker.
Aye. It was Betray's Deagle, if I'm not mistaken, that netted Reckoning Esports the first round in the first map. Is that going to be the case yet again? I've seen these Deagles do nasty things in the tournament so far. Right now, the only thing nasty happening is the sheer Mach 10 rush that Deathmaker has been coming in with. Their early advantage always traded out, always keeping Reckoning a step behind, not having the ability to play aggressive, not having the ability to get information and put your rotations accordingly. It's costing them a lot here on Inferno. The sheer aggression from Global, keeping Reckoning humble for now. And here comes the hard part, right? when things start to look daunting for Reckoning. Global starting to, without a doubt, accumulate quite the lead here on the T side. At some point, you just gotta ask yourself the hard question and figure out why it's not working. This might be a good response though. The double op setup. It's meant to play aggressive where the op would get aggressive on one side and act as a surprise element on the other. This might just be what Reckoning Esports need to save themselves a little bit of skin here in the first half.
The problem I see though with the double up against GE is the fact that vision has always been an issue for Reckoning. The timing on the smokes, the flashes have been on point from GE to a fact that that setup alone is good enough to undo the AWP and move it out of position. So, the aggressive push through apartments.
Yet again.
Yeah, that costs him dearly. That's left the A side exposed, and it's down to Trist, and he lines them up. 2 quick kills. Betray on the other side with the AWP is actually already moving into position. This is going to be a hard hit to come through. Smoke is good. They're trying to isolate Trist in the corner. Trist still survives, will eventually go down. Betray almost in kissing distance here. Dropping pretty low. He spots the gun barrel out. The flake is off target. The double up. The second grip coming in as well. And the third. They're pushing him down. He needs the no scope. It's not coming through. Oh no. A world of opportunities for Betray to try and make something happen. And now in a 1v3 Wimp. The problem with the double op, it comes back to bite Reckoning their OG. It wasn't that there weren't opportunities, but not being able to capitalize on even a single one there is unfortunate to say the least here for the CTs. The save comes in. There is no money to buy into the next round for Reckoning and GE. It's just rinse and repeat of map 1 again here on Inferno.
Yeah, you call that unfortunate. I'd say that's unforgivable, especially against a team like Global Esports who are so experienced keeping the pressure on. At that point, it all came down to that one op with sight.
Yeah, there goes the op as well.
The jumping kill in that as well.
Goodbye.
Oh my god. 6-2. And Global, they're playing a really good brand of CS here. I'm loving the fact that Global are very, very, very good at modulating the way these rounds are paced. We've seen a lot of rounds where they're willing to take things down at the wire, but we've also seen rounds that come out of the blue where they just commit. They just rush, and it seems like that's just what they want to do. Yet again, they get that man advantage, and it doesn't seem that they're stopping anytime soon. Vexy being tagged so desperately low, the flash might just cement his fate. Lightning fast, beautiful cover provided for a Deathmaker on the swing. Clara, no chance he could land that through CT. It is done in this round. There's no damage that Reckoning are even allowed to inflict. 7-2. And this might just be Global Esports getting into very comfortable boots and even be in a position where they can finish the race relatively quickly, not even making it look like a marathon. Mind you, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a best of 5 grand finals. Global Esports besting Reckoning Esports on map 1, which was Train, a map where Reckoning Esports have had history, where they've shown us they can come against the best the scene has to offer. Global Esports made it look like a landslide. And now here in map 2, it's going to be quite the same. Reckoning Esports just not looking like themselves today. And I'm glad, Shade, that they finally called this timeout. They need to get a little more relaxed. They need to make sure that they're playing to their strengths. They're playing to their advantage. Because if you do compare these two teams, Global Esports clearly have areas where they're very good at. It's going to come down to individual brilliance now to try and propel Reckoning Esports to be even in a contentious spot in this first half, or else it's going to be a Global Train wrecking through a Reckoning defense yet again.
Well, I really hope that timeout was enough for them to readjust, get a fresh perspective back into this, because things are heading down south very fast here on Inferno as well. Their own map picked 7 of the first 9 rounds, heading the way of GE.
Betray does have the op, so something that goes aside. Deathmaker though with the swing, an absolute brutal contact play towards A. This is something that I really like from Global. Their ability to play contact is on par with their ability to execute, right? We've seen a lot of teams, especially in this tournament, where they're comfortable, where they're very much comfortable with one style and not as much with the other. Global, they've shown us what their execute looks like, and it looks down perfect to counter absolutely anything that Reckoning Esports have to throw against the Global train. Right now, they just showed us a brutal display of contact play with only one flashbang priming Deathmaker on his peak to his lane, jumps out, deals with both players to his side. This is looking to be one really powerful roster. And right now, they certainly are putting a real huge shout to every single team that dares trespasses. Because they are hungry. They are mean. They are stone cold killers. And right now, they're on their A game as well. 8-2 Reckoning. It's gonna start to look like pretty murky waters here in the grand finals if they're not able to turn this round around, because this essentially dictates how the first half is gonna end. They have that op on a Betray. He's been instrumental for Reckoning Esports to get all the way to the grand finals. But let's hope the show doesn't get short, because this is the climax. This is your last chapter in this tournament. The story has been going really good for them so far. But is this going to be a twist that they have to offer? A surprise finish of them being dominated. Caramel, that came so close. The op on the receiving end. We've seen the eye-to-eye, I guess, virtually no times on Train. Now, the eye-to-eye not really went out just yet, but Caramel is the one surviving, so we have to give that one to him. Global on the cusp of touching double digits. The push through the smoke timed a little imperfectly, although Global came with that in mind. Vexy left it a 1 versus 2, and we've seen the story a lot of times. Vexy is in a position where he has the pen and the paper. Can he change the story here? It's not off to the best start. The flash atop the sky as he goes in for the peak. This is going to be an absolute necessity here that Reckoning need to win. They did end up winning that round out, so 8-3. Perhaps a good start here for Reckoning. It didn't seem to be the case when they started the game out, but hey, every book has a beginning and an end. They don't necessarily have to be alike.
Yeah, OG. It is looking pretty darn downhill right now. Reckoning called the timeout. The double op setup from Betray and Wimp. It's not sure if it's the solution here right now. It did work against them a couple of times already this match, but hopefully we are able to, Reckoning rather, are able to adjust and make things work here. Caramel picks up an AWP himself. Haven't really seen them run the op too often up on the T side here on Inferno, but pretty much how the first few rounds have gone in a landslide. I wouldn't really fault them trying something different at this point of time, because Reckoning really don't have the answers at all.
Oh, Wimp been posted aggressive with that AWP. The flash is absolutely perfect. Pushes him off the position, and Global now with complete control towards Banana. A minute on the clock. They don't even need to commit to this. But we've seen them change up the pace so often, and Global might have just caught Reckoning Esports off again! The double entry sends the B-side defense packing all the way back home. A man disadvantage. Reckoning need to start getting these rounds, need to start being relevant here in the first half. Global 3 versus 3 post-ban on the back of a double op. It's not conventional, but hey, it might just work. Hellfighter, close range, left unchecked. Chris, low HP as he tries to gather as much as he can to save Reckoning Esports a little bit of hope in the first half, but it's too little too late. Reckoning Esports, in fact, punished for overstaying their welcome. Global, one step away from double digits.
3-9, and the money's back in the dumpsters for Reckoning. The aggressive angle held there towards the B side is holding a pixel angle there, OG, and pretty hit and a miss. You miss the initial opportunity. Chances are you're not going to get a second look back, especially with the way Global Esports are playing this. Oh, yeah, the drive-by. A-side's pretty much up for the taking here. Reckoning Esports. They've got armor in on Wexy, and I think it warrants just about enough of an opportunity to try and hang on to this. And with the AK recovered as well, it's quite a bit of moolah to take on to the next round, but make no mistake, GE are pretty much continuing where they left things off on Train, and if you're a Reckoning fan right now, things are not looking pretty. The CT side, where we've seen Reckoning play hyper aggressive up against teams previously on this very map, Clouder, Wexy, Trist, they like to put those deep smokes in, especially towards Banana, take aggressive position, pin teams in all the way back towards spawn. And this time around in the grand finals, it's been quite the contrast. They've been pretty much forced to play hyper passive. And looks like the flash setup perfect with the smoke. The first flick misses. And this has pretty much been the story so far, as Betray continues to pop off, leaving it all down to Hell Ranger here. Well,
I've seen him clutch on the biggest stages. Can he do it here? No, he can't. Vexy takes him short. Finally, a round where Reckoning look alive. Betray has had questionable performances throughout the entirety of the grand finals so far, but finally, the man has delivered, and he's delivered in his weapon of choice as well. That AWP played the absolute pivotal point in that defense. The best position he could strike from. Reckoning, That gasp for air finally gave them a little bit of a refresher. But is that going to be enough is the question. Reckoning on a map that they were comfortable on, it was a 10-5 finish on Train in the map prior. Now, it might be a picture which looks even more bleak. Betray positions himself, knows that he needs to carry this round for his team, get them the opening pick, get the ball rolling. The counter flash and Deathmaker's ready for the close swing. An absolute shutdown here of the defense. Deathmaker with the Kalishnikov goes lone wolf Clouder, try to reply, but Deathmaker, there is nothing that stops this man. A phenomenal talent, and he embraces it with the weapon that is worthy. His aim to absolute finesse here in the grand finals, showing us why he's revered not only in this country but in this region. 2 versus 1, Vexy. Quite the upward clutch, but he needs to be in it to win it. The last one of the half, so he has to pull out guns blazing. Tries his very best at it, but Hellfighter, the pillar for Global, keeps the roof atop them. 11-4. This is turning out to be an even more brutal game than Train ever was. I guess there was nothing that Reckoning Esports could train for before they got into this matchup.
Well, 11 rounds on the D side here on Inferno as well. Is been, like you said it's a train, it's a freight train, and it is pretty much been one-way traffic. GE, they call the timeout here. I think they've pretty much deserved the break here. On the T side, absolutely dismantling the Reckoning defense, which has withstood the test of time round after round in this tournament. But in the grand final, it has been picked apart with relative ease and with precision. Global Esports on the cusp here. They take the pistol, they set themselves up to take a 2-0 lead in this best of 5 grand finals, and that, even with the kind of depth and talent that Reckoning Esports has, I am quite uncertain if they can make the reverse sweep work. A lot of damage towards Banana, and Deathmaker pretty much gets instant deleted off, and it's all down to Hellf. He's gonna have to stand tall. They have 3 CTs here. The Hell Ranger is gonna be the trump card. He swings wide, and yeah, the first contact not best. He goes down, and this pistol round has got Reckoning written all over it, unless Caramel can do the unthinkable. Needs the 1v4 clutch. He's got the first.
Oh, Price going for the engagement again. It's a proven. I'd say there's more than enough evidence backing onto this. The people who try to wield the AWP as their primary weapon are often really good when it comes to pistols and pistol round, especially the USP. Caramel might have had a chance there, but Reckoning certainly getting a little bit of a boost after that pistol round. It's gonna be, again, a pretty upward battle, but Reckoning Esports knew that even before they joined the server. You better hope that they prepped in everything they need to try and take this mile-long journey. So we just about get started. Great. The MAC-10 close range. The drive-by with the USP as Vexy holds on to Banana. Sadly, the Banana gets snatched away as soon as Wimp swings with that Galil. Smoke over, Hellranger wants to force the issue, and he actually finds that kill. Beautiful stuff from Global.
And it's doable now. Yeah,
it is. The only problem here is Hellranger does lack armor, so as long as the MAC-10 is used initially to try and retrieve the bomb and they play this one together, They have no chance of being split apart. Oh no. The one thing that they shouldn't have done might be their undoing here. Luckily, Cloud had to regain control. 11-6. Reckoning Esports mitigate disaster. That came really close though.
Well, 11-6, Reckoning pull one round back, but GE going for that train towards Banana. Hellranger was able to bring it all the way down to the wire there. 1v1. HP unfortunately was working against him there. It's down to about 11 HP. Crowder ensures there is no miracles, at least that round. The buy does come back in for GE here. Caramel back on his AWP, but it's only a glass cannon one. The boost up from Deathmaker, and he spotted out quite a few T's. Towards mid, the smoke dropped. I don't think Reckoning are going to be looking to force the issue with the pop flashes there. Especially with HLF also playing very close, ready for the double peak, and Reckoning, they do have a decent bit of a utility here to get the smokes back out. HLF peeks out, and it's all down to Deathmaker now to hold the fort in. HLF is pretty much stuck inside the flashbang. Still gonna continue to hold his ground as they instead turn their attention towards short A, but they're walking into the meat grinder here. They get all mopped up here, OG. Wexy's left with it all to do. He's able to readjust back towards LF, but he needs a lot more. 3v1, and he ends up going down. Global Esports, a stellar hold on the A site.
A beautiful hold. That crossfire, absolutely talented. In fact, we've seen Global Esports put a really similar defense in their semifinals matchup. So there's a lot of things towards Inferno that have been left unchanged. Reckoning Esports, at some point you got to stop and question, right? Where Global Esports would come in with 4 to 5 flashes on that execute, blinding both the players to its site and the player to its pit. Why wasn't there anyone global or on their CT? Why is there nothing that blinds them? Reckoning, it has to be an absolute perfect D-side if they want to try and get anything of this global defense. We've seen this defense stand strong against the best the country has to offer. They need to try and offer something different. If they're going to boil this down to 1 versus 1, you really got to second doubt yourself when you're trying to take a 1 versus 1 against people like maybe a Deathmaker or a Hellfighter who are mechanically more than ready to try and take the fight to you. It's got to come down to those flashes. It's going to come down to the attention of detail that Reckoning do display on their head. So far, they've committed a lot of resources towards the neck of Banana, while they leave Trist. All right, an anticlimactic end of the round, to say the least. But hey, it'll all be cool. Reckoning, yet again, gonna be on the Deagles, and Global, they're gonna give another orchestration of the defense yet again.
(12-6). It is Reckoning who will be back on mere pistols here. I see a flash on Wimp early on with the Deagle. Maybe they do put some upgraded pistols here behind the AK on Clouder and just rely on him being able to trade these frags. He's been the standout performer for Reckoning throughout this entire tournament. They run to the finals, almost top fragging every single time. He's been the one to step up when things have been pretty much smooth sailing, but map 2 in the finals, he's not had the best of starts. In fact, 11-4 and 16 It's been a pretty average performance out of him, and they need a lot more if they are to upset GE here at this point, OG.
Yeah, they need a lot more, and they need it a lot faster as well. You can't give this much room to Global Esports, especially considering it's a best of 5 matchup. Global Esports are on the cusp of netting themselves the 2 out of the 3 required maps to get a chance of touching that trophy. So right now, if you put yourself in the boots of Reckoning Esports, it's either do or die. Hellranger. Maybe a silver lining here for Reckoning Esports, as now, never mind. They had the window of opportunity where Hellranger was alone. Now with the rotation from Caramel, it should be swept under the rug. A pretty standard crossfire nets them the entirety of Reckoning's roster on the dinner table. And Global Esports, they're soon going to be in a position where Reckoning, they kick, they scream, they push back. There's nothing that's going to stop Global Esports and them on their path to victory. It's been quite the grim map 2 for Reckoning. Do you feel though there's any redemption that's left in them in this best of 5? Because at the end of the day, this is what a best of 5 is, right? To test both the best and the worst in you. Who knows, maybe Reckoning still have to display what their best is.
(13-6). Reckoning. Ooh, the pistol there. Get the opening onto Caramel, and that does allow them to flood short A right now. Hellaf is pretty much all alone, but lightning fast just around the corner, and he just mows them down. 14-6. Back in for Reckoning, but the storyline is pretty much deja vu from map 1 so far. A change in map, but the storyline has been pretty identical. GE as stellar on defense as they were on offense the previous half. Looking for match point, the run boost as well, and he gets the tag in. Betrayed down to 16 HP early in this crucial round for Reckoning Esports. And they've lost Trist towards the A side aggression. They've spotted out Caramel. And GE, they've got no reason to force the issue here. Global Esports, though, no.
Goodness,
The beginning of the end here on Inferno. The nade goes through, but Waxy's long gone. He's the last man alive. 1v5, not a single HP of damage taken on Global Esports.
Oh boy. I mean, I understand a flawless round, but a round where you're essentially untouched. This is quite the statement Global Esports is throwing out to the wind. Reckoning. A little shy on the response. What do they have to work with in this last round? An AK, little bit of utility. Weaponry gonna be a huge problem, especially considering that Global Esports have better gun and better firepower when it comes to personnel manning those weapons. Caramel, so consistently AWP, yet again lands the opening, tries to go for the flick, but a little over ambitious. Clouda, it's about time that he chimes in. Lightning Fast ends up going down as well, and they've committed to the speed towards mid that's allowed Hellfighter to perhaps get into the side incognito. He misses his cue though, missing a crucial shot from the player emerging towards pit, but there we go. The duo chimes in yet again. Deckmaker, he's gonna be a victim of that drive-by, and Clouda left with 5 HP to work with. Hellranger, with that AK, if it's a headshot, it's one shot either way. Time definitely gonna be playing against Hellranger here. Clouda has the room to maneuver. But we've seen Hellranger in these shoes on multiple occasions. A lot of experience under his belt. to try and pull off this 1 versus 1. In a situation like this, Clouda will be a really, really silent force, but a deadly force in that as well. Plant as open as he dares.
The problem though
giving-
is he's barely got any health to work with. He's 5 HP. He's got absolutely no utility, while Hellranger, he's got a flash and a smoke. And with a kit, he should have the advantage here. He's going to smoke it off and he's going to try and bait Clouda into the open. He's going to try and stick this OG. The spray is good. He's got it.
Yep, he did just about in the nick of time. 7 to 15. Perhaps a little in way of redemption. Crane certainly wasn't a good showing from them. They might want to just recoup on their losses and at least put as much of a reply as they can in map 2. Who knows, maybe mentally headed into map 3, it might help them. Just that teeny bit, just enough. Perhaps to throw Global Esports off edge. But again, that's a huge ask. And that's even stretching the margins far and wide. Global. They have the buy to reply in kind with, and it's that double op. We've seen this against Phoenix. It is absolutely brutal. The way this double op just slits the throat of the T side. Both Caramel and Deathmaker have been incredibly precise on the sniper, and again, Deathmaker gonna come off it with the man advantage. Did get dinged with the Galil though. Gonna be down 11 HP. Health, not really gonna be a factor on this man, because we've seen him come up with absolutely nutty kills.
Well, it's going to be push towards the A side, but they're moving into Caramel's op, and he's given away a shoulder. A pixel too far out and full control of library. Given up. Lightning Fast in Halaf. Everything is on them. Lightning Fast again. Gets caught peeking a little too shabbily. Their Trist, however, over aggresses and maybe gives an opportunity back into this for Global. Hellranger far, far away towards Banana. It's pretty much on the shoulders of Deathmaker and Halaf to try and make this happen.
Hellfighter is doing something really smart. He puts a lot of pressure on the defense and denies them the opportunity to try and reposition Hellranger immediately to the refrag, and he has a good idea as to how the site's going to be guarded. That Molotov does good in forcing Vexy towards the top of the box where he could have individualized an engagement. Not going to be what's at hand though. Betray steps up for the fight and wins it out as well. 8 to 15. Right now, Reckoning Esports are on salvage mode, trying their very best to get a couple of rounds here and there. This way, they potentially might even be able to hit double digits, making it look a little harder and perhaps getting Global a little out of their comfort zone headed into map 3. But if Reckoning have any hope or even the mentality to win this, it's going to be quite the long game they have to play. Right now, if they do end up conceding Inferno, they'll have to win 3 maps in consecutive succession to force the upset. They've been really, really good on their upset train, getting big names kicked out of this tournament left, right, center with a dominating performance up until the grand finals. But where it mattered most, it feels like the car might have just run out of gas when we're on the verge of seeing the finish line. Reckoning a little slow on their T side so far with the way they're approaching these late round situations. It might as well be attributed to somewhat of a luck play because there's always that X factor headed into those last few seconds of the round. In the round prior, we saw Caramel with a minor whiff in terms of the angle he did take due to him being a little closer to the wall that housed the door. He did get spotted before he spotted anyone in return, just the way the camera works in CS. So that opener enabled Reckoning to try and crunch down the side, which, mind you, Hellfire was defending for a majority portion, even of the afterplan, towards the pit. Right now, every step that Reckoning Esports have to take is going to cost them a lot, and it's going to be a very, very, very crucial step they need to take. They need to make sure that these few kills, these few rounds that they do manage to pick up in this map will add to their confidence booster, will add to the fact that they know that they're underdogs. They know that they don't have pressure. They know that they have the caliber to deliver. They have the capability, but will they be able to transform that into execution and actually pull off the unthinkable is the question. Because right now, Global Esports are making a solid case that they are here, they're here to play, they're here for the win, and they are here with a really strong performance.
I think it's at this point of time, Reckoning isn't really thinking about the long game. I think they're just going to take this round by round, try and prolong this as long as they can, and every bit of confidence and momentum they can pick up from here on out might not actually affect the outcome of this map per se, but will go a long way in setting themselves up to try and go for the reverse sweep. The maps coming up are Mirage, Overpass, and Vertigo, if required. Those are maps, especially map number 5 is something I'd say Reckoning will have an edge on GE if it comes down to it. But Mirage is going to be a huge test for Reckoning Esports. It is a map we've seen GE dismantle teams match after match, and Reckoning, unless they're able to turn things around in dramatic fashion from what they have done in the first 2 maps, it does look like a pretty uphill road for them. But they've done pretty well here to fend off 2 map points so far. We have one of the players from Global Esports disconnecting out. I see Caramel, unfortunately, has dropped out of the service. We have a tech pause. Not to worry, we should be able to reconnect and get the rest of this match on its way. We've talked all about what Reckoning can do to fix this and readjust. Let's talk a little bit about GE. Does look like they've done a lot of homework coming into this OG. They know the kind of playstyle Reckoning Esports were going to bring to the table on Train and Inferno. They've come prepared and they've completely picked apart the defense piece by piece.
Well, I'd say that one thing that Global Esports did display to us very well today is how versatility can fend off the face of any adversary. When they're on their T side, they have a lot of comfort executing different type of strategies. They're really good at modulating the pace at which they orchestrate their T side hits. In a lot of rounds, they boil it down to perhaps the last minute or 30 seconds. The next round, they're just going guns blazing into the B side with a minute 30 on the clock. There's a lot that it requires to be as versatile yet as consistent as Global Esports have shown us here in the grand finals. It's certainly a testament that now comes their era. You've talked about this in the pregame, where for the initial part of 2020, they had the small curse of always placing in second. Right now, they are fortunate for the fact that Blaze were earlier knocked out by Reckoning Esports, who have been the bane of global esports' success throughout the start of the year. But things are slowly starting to sweet up. They got a recent trophy. Now they have yet another trophy they potentially could add to that cabinet to make their showcase look as fancy as it may be. Because they certainly have put on that sweat. They've certainly been on the grind. It shows here on the results. It shows on how dominant they've been against Reckoning Esports. And many people might look at this and say it's a one-day result. Look at the history that Reckoning Esports have had throughout the entirety of the tournament. They've had this underdog title for a reason. They've been dethroning people left, right, center. Team IND, Team Blaze, a dominating performance against Blitzkrieg on Mirage. 2-0ing both Force Crew and underdogs to reach here. Best of threes are no joke. Even taking them 2-0 against a team that you might not be as familiar with, it's a huge testament. And I guess global esports, they've shown us that underdogs, overdogs, it doesn't matter. They're here to play, they're here for business, and they're darn sure going to get their business done.
I've just got word that Caramel, unfortunately, has lost his internet connection. That is super unfortunate. GE, unless he's able to miraculously fix things up, might have to continue on with a substitute. It's something that Reckoning Esports will definitely take. Caramel has been on his A game so far, especially on the AWP. He's barely offered Reckoning Esports an inch, and might just be a silver lining in this year for RE for the maps to come.
It might just be that silver lining shade. Maybe this is the break that Reckoning needed to perhaps get a breather, get into your comfort zone. Let that anxiety, let that stress leave your body. Normally, what I would do in a situation where I'm under a lot of pressure, but hey, it's only pugs. There's a huge difference between a pug and a tournament again. But when you have a team structured around you, you help relieve each other of that stress. Perhaps listen to music, go on with business as they usually do, and just hope and pray that your teammates on the mode of recovery. We've seen this from a lot of teams historically, namely Fnatic, where in their prime back in 2015 to 2016, when they had problems, when things weren't going that well in series which define their careers today, they call timeouts. What they do in this timeout is they chill, they relax. Be like, guys, that's hitting us now. Relax, get into your zone, don't stress whatsoever, and you'd be able to see what the mental reset does on paper, where immediately they'd follow up with the Tech 9s, they'd be able to get rounds out of nowhere, and they'd start getting a dominant streak of rounds. In fact, this kind of playstyle is what defined Fnatic. They call it the timeout of doom back in the good old days.
Yeah, looks like we will have to wait on a couple more moments before the final player can join back in for GE. So sit back, relax, enjoy the break, because the action's gonna just start to get heated up as we join back in for this best of 5 final. This is the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament powered by Lenovo and Intel. Don't go anywhere.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
All right, we're gonna jump straight back into the match. We have Caramel joining in and getting word that he's actually joined in with mobile internet. Let's see how this plays out. It's not gonna matter much this time around as there's barely anything invested in for GE. They're gonna go for the B stack. While Tristan Clouder, they're gonna head towards A and they're gonna see an empty site here.
Yeah. It's gonna be open as day. Global only have vanilla USPs, so not gonna be as big of a bother even if they do end up giving this round the other way. What will matter though is if they're able to perhaps carry forward a gun or two, maybe do damage along the way. Reckoning they sure are playing this disciplined. They're not giving any room for error. Patience coming in from Betray. Not given a single step towards Banana. And where he does, he also downs Deathmaker. Just about now, Reckoning should be under the realization it's a B-stack. Betray. Calm, cool, collected. Again lining up yet another headshot. But now he better be safe. He better be back towards his team. Ooh, no, lightning fast with the USP reload out in hand, but he still ends up getting the kill after putting a fresh mag in the chamber. 3 versus 4. They have that AK on a lightning fast. They need to be as safe as they can with the save, because that's their hope right now that they can potentially turn the story around with the AK in the next round. Hellfighter flexing with his skill on KZ will be able to save this AK. Reckoning on the hunt, but not looking to his right bush. Hellfighter might have just been that lucky bird. Got away. 9 of 15. Global. In a position where they can certainly invest. Hellfighter should be able to drop the AK and go for an op with some armor and a little bit of utility to complement it. Reckoning. The testament to their comeback is going to be based on the round's result. It's going to be either them fighting for overtime or them being lights out here on map 2 where Global already have the first under the belt. The op, it's back on the hands of Caramel. Been an instrument of doom so far on the Global Esports Bootcamp. The push towards lane. It's not really the most decisive play you can make, just due to the fact that you have left yourself vulnerable in the backlines through Deathmaker, and Archers is still a position where you can get exploited from very easily.
And it's a 2v5 situation as well. C4 is dropped in the middle of nowhere. They're downing by the numbers. Richard, no, actually can't find it. Caramel closes things out 16-9. And Global Esports take Reckoning's map pick in Inferno, and in pretty much the same style they did on Train, their Apo 2-0. It's going to require a huge river sweep for Reckoning to turn this grand final around.
Indeed. This time the scoreline was 16-9, a little bit better compared to map number 1, which was 16-6. But overall, congratulations, GE. 2 maps under their belt and 1 more for them to take the title as champions. As for Reckoning Esports, like you mentioned, hopefully they do come in with a reverse sweep. So while we prepare for map number 3, guys, this is the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament you are watching, powered by Lenovo and Intel, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. We will be back very shortly. Do subscribe to this channel if you enjoy this kind of matches or the broadcast and everything, and check out our socials, or if you want to go shopping, links are all in the description. Until then, stay tuned, enjoy the tournament recap, and we'll be back very shortly.
Probably gonna get the plant in, but he wants to win this duel out. He spots the barrel. Oh no! Oh no! It's just been one of those days. just been one of those days. Hair Ranger comes in, the captain for the final frag. He says, off the C4, I'm doing this. GG, well played, Global Esports. They are your second grand finalist.
But it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case today. Global Esports.
And it's heading their way fast. But the defense does hold strong here. Hellranger still can't find the duel. Finally wins one out. It's down to a 2v3. Still very much doable here for Centric Esports to try and get themselves onto the scorecard, but they're offering fights one after the other.
Molotov, if the smoke is buying valuable time for level 0 Esports. Are they going to push through that smoke? They have a flashback, a wrong decision. Lightning fast on his aim as well.
Is on point, and now they probably don't want to aggress through kitchen. Lightning fast is waiting here. 2 down and the third.
The flash primes Hellranger on the peak, and it leaves Caramel in the duel 1 versus 2. He's missed the shot, but he connects it on the second time of asking. It's all left on a 0 cool, and Caramel melts them.
But instead, his life goes down to 3. The spray down, the flashback timing is perfect, and Caramel just mows them down. 3, 4. Line them all up.
Global just completely choking their opposition out of air. Deathmaker doing what he does best. Tap, tap, tap. 3 kills. Could be the ace. They just lie away. Let's see if they're able to chip away at Global. The numbers certainly are against it, but Deathmaker, it is just... Okay, yeah. Get the ace. Give him the ace. It's A, the rotation's early from Deathmaker, and they commit in through lane. The crossfire set in stone. Hellfighter could mow them all down. The F4 chiming in.
They've ensured that in fact that remains the case. However, Halaf. Maps, and they're very strong at it as well. Wimp with the nade's going to do decent bit of damage. He's going to take a question. Zed's going down as well, and it's all up to Sneaky in a 1v4 to try and keep underdogs in this. He's good for the first. He's getting pushed in, and that is it. GG, well played. Reckoning Esports 16-2.
Ooh, that could have been a highlight reel. Clouda ends up going down with a close at SL, the spray. Involver, he's way better on his aim. Swat chimes in, and he fights enough distraction perhaps by the rotation, but Wham! A monstrous triple kill to bring his team back into this game. With the AWP, they jump down, but I'm not accounted for Chris, who is just wrecking them bullet after bullet, kill after kill. He steps up massively and just completely obliterates Blitzkrieg on the B side.
And Ivy, as the push comes in towards the B side, and Chris turns around. Oh my lord! The 3-man spray down. Having made that pistol round work, the push through mid catches the offer of God. Wexy somehow still manages to hold on. The flashbang is timed perfectly for him to go for the read. Can they find the second? Rossi goes huge there, and all Wexy finds 2. Tundra gets a 3rd as well. Wexy really fast gets the 4th. Oh my lord!
Half pistol. Wrecking Thunder knows that he's given away audio cues. Betray. Flash not even needed to be dodged, concealed by the stairway. Swat ends up going down with the wide swing. Betray trying to go for the no scope. Anything's in style. The quick scope.
Flashbang setup is good. Spray onto the first and Betray.
Oh boy.
They're mowing them down one after the other.
But not if you give him this much room to work with. Betray gets the first, and it's just the ops ringing and singing in unison. The nade. Who needs the nade? Clouda with the op. Just shuts things down.
This is rough, Clouda.
Is this the beginning of the end? It certainly seems that way. Clouda sends them back.
Oh, that free transfer.
untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament powered by Lenovo and Intel, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. We are now ready for map number 3. Quick look at the map Vito. Now map 1 was trained, and GE took that 16-6. Map 2 was on Inferno. We just saw what went down, and GE won 16-9. Now GE has 2 rounds under their belt, and Reckoning Esports might actually have to take they actually have to take this map 3 if they do want to stay in the competition to be champions. What are your thoughts, Shade?
Yeah, it is gonna be a tall ask. It is GE's map pick. It's a map they're super comfortable on. Mirage and Reckoning Esports. We did see them put up quite a small resurgence at the end of Inferno, getting in 2 or 3 rounds on the trot. But I don't think that is gonna be enough for them to overcome Global Esports here. But if they are to make a turnaround, it's now or never. They've got to make the reverse sweep. They've lost that buffer in this best of 5 grand final, and I think if it is destiny, it is gonna be RE upsetting GE to kick things off with here on Mirage.
All right, so Reckoning Esports, they have to win if they do want to stay in this competition. And this is the grand finals of the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament, and we should be ready with the game right now. Map 3.
Yeah, Mirage is going to be the setting. It will be Global Esports starting on the T side, with Reckoning Esports opting to start off on the CT side. That being said, we are actually counting down to the start. Let's jump straight into the matchup. Reckoning Esports CT side might just be their last map in the grand final if they can't switch things around dramatically here, OG.
It is looking quite dire here for Reckoning Esports indeed, Shade. There is still a silver lining here. They have this best of 5 to try and felicitate them at least a map, if possible, here on Mirage. Global Esports still are going to be the side-eye favor, and a quick split towards, a quick fake actually from Helef, just try and signify a split towards A. Reckoning though, they hold their boots strong, knowing that there's no movement, but where they stand and wait is where they get slaughtered. Global Esports, so clinical, so precise, losing only a single man amidst all that mayhem. Yet again, secure the pistol, which if I'm not mistaken, for the past 3 maps that we've seen so far, every single pistol has been won by Global.
It has. Reckoning Esports, again, they get so overwhelmed on that B-side contact play coming in. Helef running distraction towards the A side is able to charge up through connector despite a CT playing in from B short, and that pretty much set things up there for Global Esports. 3 quick frags on the B side, and there was no resemblance of a retake even seeing the light of day. 1-0, Reckoning Esports, as they have in the previous maps, they're going to force buy into this.
I mean, the force buy throughout the tournament has been working to some extent for Reckoning. If they don't manage to win it off, they do a significant amount of damage to the other side. It's been quite the contrary here in the grand finals. Global. Let's hope they avoid that. Stat going the other way. Yep. Mitigates disaster yet again. Vexy has the deal. It's good for the single kill. But I doubt he's going to get much more from this position. Global. Being patient. Open to see any kind of reply from Reckoning. So far, they have 1 piece of the puzzle, but the seconds come in and undetected as well. Even unaccounted at the moment. But Wemp stealthily pushing through short, gets himself the chance to land that kill. Sadly, it was a small window of opportunity, and that's closed on him. Vexy, it's all that remains. The nade sails past him, concedes the angle. Caramel trying to finish the job off. And this is Reckoning doing a decent job at trying to remove the numbers, but in that process, they feed into the SMGs, which will, at the end of the day, give Global an edge when it comes to economy. 2-0, Reckoning will have to come in with yet another eco.
Yep, the first buy there doesn't do much on the side. They get the one frag on the entry and one towards the end. Global Esports will happily trade that any day. 2-0, another hard eco coming through. One flashbang onto Clouder to prevent a quick B hit, and Deathmaker is looking to actually push through. He checks the corner, he spots out Trist. He's got the Mac 10, he's got a couple more players this way. The TV can isolate the jumping spray. He spotted out Clouder as well. Hides in the corner.
Deathmaker, yeah, it's a little iffy that he's on 11 HP, but hey, he has only the Mac 10, right? That's the trade-off. This weapon is so much value for money when it comes to getting damage done against armorless opposition. Even if you do end up giving that gun away by any unfortunate turn of events, it's not going to be as effective against your teammates who will have armor. Deathmaker showing us that even if he does have only a stick, he's willing to break your bone, and he does not need a stone to do that. Right now, Global, they've done really good defending their throne here in this best of 5 so far, securing both map 1 and map 2 in quite the dominant fashion. Headed into this veto, both the maps that were banned were Nuke and Dust 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it's a very smart veto, if you think of it, when it comes to the side of Global. We've seen Reckoning be absolute monsters on Nuke, and Nuke is a match with, it's a map where, yeah, Global Esports are in a sense comfortable with. They've done it a lot of times prior, but they need to make sure that they bring in maps which can abuse the firepower and the amount of experience they have. So Nuke, a map where they might have just told like, hey, Reckoning have a strong map pool, Nuke seems to be the strongest, and might as well just ban that off, not risk much. Dust 2 is a map we've seen a lot in this tournament. We've seen the amount of potential that map has in trying to felicitate a potential upset, even up against good teams. Global have a history on that map, but against Reckoning Esports, who have been a really good team when it comes to upsetting and continuing that form, you might not want to pick it against them, right? It's a smart veto as well coming into this matchup, and it just shows the amount of homework that Global Esports have done headed into this tournament and headed into this final.
Yeah, GE, they've come prepared with what Reckoning were expected to throw at them, and boy oh boy, haven't they tackled it in the best way possible. An amazing start yet again here on map number 3. Reckoning Esports, the buy coming in, $5,300 on to win. Might be able to buy an AWP over to Betray, but that pretty much is gonna set him up to pretty much have to play glass cannon on whatever he decides to buy. There you go, he's gonna buy the M4. Betray can opt for a glass cannon himself.
Is it really worth it though, with how on point Global have been with their utility across the entirety of the finals? I doubt that having a glass cannon op would be the best situation. Even in Inferno, when Reckoning manned that single op setup, you never really saw the op getting enough room to work with, right? In fact, I feel like it was only that single round where Betray landed that huge double kill towards lane while he was defending the A side with the op. Apart from that, we never really saw much of the op, and for good reason as well. Global have been very good at shutting down that op, which has been a really consistent provider for Reckoning Esports throughout the tournament.
3-0, as we do have the final player reconnecting back in for GE, only for
Oh my
I think
God.
one player from Reckoning Esports to disconnect back out.
Huh. What a finals it has been so far. It might have been a very one-sided finals, but heading into this matchup, we all knew how strong global esports have been looking, right? And kudos to them. They've been putting a lot of hard work ever since the start of the year. Seeing players like Antidote retire, having such a good tenure in CS, and bringing in talent like Lightning Fast to sub him in, it's a good start of this roster, right? Where previously we had a lot of questions, seeing how many offers these teams have, seeing that at the end of the journey, those few last steps that they need to take, it's always been the hardest step for them. It's always been that hurdle that they cannot overcome. With this new rejuvenated roster housing more younger talent than tenured one. Because apart from Hellranger, nobody has a storied name in Indian CS. Deathmaker might be the biggest name on the server, but that's just due to how good he is and how good he got during those short spans. Previously, back all the way when he used to play with Antidote in, I think it was ATE Gaming, he was a player, but he wasn't India's best. It's only through hard work that he's grinded his way to the top, and he deserves it. But this new rejuvenated global esports certainly does have a really good feel to it, Shane.
Opening frag goes the way of Reckoning Esports as Betray is more than happy to take that opening duel out there. Did turn up with the numbers GE, but unfortunately couldn't trade the early frag. And like I said, I think GE, the kind of expectations that were on this squad coming into this to close things out, I think they've responded back as strong as they could have. A team that a couple of times has come up short in the final mile. I think this is the absolute best response they could have had to the critics, and to do it in such a dominating fashion only sends a stronger message. Our Deathmaker again cleans up. Early couple of frags negated by GE here as they make their way towards the A side. It's all down to Wimp, who's playing all the way from CT. He's heard the footsteps coming through, and Clouda is going to be joining him in a moment. Hellranger, is he going to push CT? He does, but Clouda arrives a quarter of a second too late, and they cannot prevent Wimp from going down. C4's planted 2v2 on the retake. Chris with a wide open peek gets the first, and Deathmaker can't respond. Oh, holy moly! A blinder of a flick by Clouda. Quick to go for the trade frag there. First round on the board for Reckoning, but it almost slips away from their fingers there at the end, OG.
Oh, that might have been the case with Deathmaker's mouse as well with that flick. Holy moly, what a shot towards stairs. That's certainly got to be sending shockwaves resonating towards Reckoning Esports. And Global, with the discipline they won the initial 3 rounds with, has gifted them this economy and this reinvestment. They have the AWP out, back on Caramel. Man's been on an absolute spree throughout this grand final. Looking impeccable as he doesn't miss a shot. He does miss the lethal blow though, as Betray's leg down to 14 HP. Going in for the engagement, but Deathmaker's gonna be more than ready. And the push through mid spotted out. Reckoning not in a position they can deal with this though. They've left jungle vulnerable, which gives Global enough room to swing towards side. It's only now that Clouda has come in with a rotation. This hit, a pretty daunting one from Global. The smoke to its connector has been an age-old strat that Hellranger's been putting in with new additions across the years. Is this gonna be proven a success yet again? What a shot from Hellfire, saving the head of Deathmaker on the entry, but this two-pronged attempt towards the side hole better work out. It doesn't. Global, quick to sweep the Reckoning defense into the trash can and sent packing back from where it came from, 4-1. This dominant stance towards mid, it's simply unstoppable right now. Global Esports look well and comfortable here on Mirage.
They look more than comfortable here right now, and Caramel takes Wexy's head off clean. When it's your day by a long shot. Wimp with the deagle. Left with a pistol and a dream. Clouder gets up, taken down through the smoke. The cleanup crew has arrived. Trist on the other side of town should get spotted by Deathmaker here as he swings towards mid. Actually, no, Trist. Just chilling here. 5-1, as clean of an anti-eco as there can be. Barely any damage taken, except on Deathmaker on the entry here. Double up setup, maybe it's something that they quickly head out to here in map number 3. It did work for a couple of rounds on Inferno. The problem is they haven't really been able to get their oppers in the best position to get the early frags in the first place. And the op has almost always been forced into a situation where it's playing either from behind or pretty much on retake, which is a big no-no. Let's see if Reckoning can switch things up here, and they do in fact put the op on to Trist in Clouda.
Double op, Reckoning Esports, trying to get something different into the mix. Is it going to be enough of a change though that pushes Global Esports maybe off their A game? Caramel, such a crispy flick. It breaks the neck of Reckoning Esports and has crippled them on the CT side. This double op setup broken apart. Global Esports seem more than ready for anything Reckoning Esports have to offer. This is undoubtedly one of the best forms we've seen this team be in. Looking really sharp. It's just the amount of awareness they have, right? It seems like they're almost telegraphing whatever Reckoning Esports are up to. Such heads-up play. Beautiful display of the AWP from Caramel as well. 6-1. And oh my, how Reckoning are being undone. That investment's gonna set them back a bit. They might even consider an eco right now. Headed into the third map when you're 2-0 down. This is definitely not the start they're expecting.
Absolutely not. And Caramel's confidence just continues to grow here, one after the other. They peek back out, they do get the trade in, but it's still just the pistols. They haven't managed to recover any rifles. Betray.
He's been having a lot of nice deeks these games. And crispy as ever. Still 3 versus 3 shade. It's possible. They've managed to thin the numbers down. HP. Distinct disadvantage here for Trist. Nice coordination from both Hellfighter and Lightning Fast. They play apart but still together. 7-1 Global Esports. They are just looking for one thing, Shade, and it's the win. They are dead serious. It's really nice to see Global Esports, like you said, coming back, but coming back with such a resurgence. It's about time we see the names from this roster shine as they used to many moons ago. Shine as bright. At least that's what I'm trying to mean there.
Betray? Oh. Yeah, it's just been one of those days. They're just taking the fight right now to Reckoning. Trist, however, able to respond back. Wimp gets an opening. Those are the kind of opportunities Reckoning absolutely have to take if they are to stand a chance in this matchup. Those half chances, those half a second
peaks that are offered, if Reckoning are not able to convert them a lot more frequently, these rounds are going to continue to pretty much end up the way they have so far. Deathmaker's got this angle down. As soon as Trist leaks out, he should be cleaned up. 8-1. They keep 3 alive. It's a beatdown, OG.
Absolute beatdown. I mean, we expected this to be a derby, but it's turned out to be a slaughter. There is simply no kicking back from Reckoning. I felt Mirage should be a map that, at least to some extent, plays to their comfort zone, right? It's looking far from comfortable right now. Every round seems like it's going to be harder and harder to get. And that's certainly not the place you'd like to be in the finals. A small misplay from Global, but instantly corrected. Hellranger should be able to throw the op beyond limits, potentially taking the bomb back towards A. They did have, if I'm not wrong, that was lightning fast go down towards Market. So they should have a good idea as to how the rotation is going to shape up, and Hellfighter gets a stunning shot through the smoke, the bomb. What's Hellranger going to plan this for though? He has no cover and rotation still yet to be decided. If he plans this out towards B shot, he risks getting denied. Hellfighter is coming through connector though, and that smoke, not the most ideal of smokes, as anybody from B short might be able to peer in just about enough. Hellranger, oh, not denied. He gets the plan down. Hellfighter has a small advantage here where he knows Reckoning needs to come to him. And he downs Betrayed. That's the danger out of the equation. With long range CZ, Hellfighter looks as precise as ever. 9-1. And the tag team Hell duo gets it done for Global Esports.
2v4. Reckoning. They still end up on the wrong side there. A lot of individual fights offered, and Hellfighter coming up clutch at the end as the Saties. They jumped the gun a little bit there. They could have waited for the rotation to come through and have that crossfire set up before taking him on, but I think at this point of time, the textbook's out of the window. You want to go with your gut. You want to try and remedy this situation as fast as you can, because GE are running away with this by a mile. Betrayed down to 12 HP, and he's gonna get wall banged down. Waxy spots out 2 players, goes wide swing here. He wants to take these fights. He wants them all, but there's absolutely nothing going their way right now.
They just might have overplayed their cards there, Shade. They had that 3 versus 3 down, but Global Esports, they lied in wait. They knew exactly what is headed towards them. Reckoning. The process of trying to close out that one extra round, you might have just given it away. Trist, undoubtedly one of the most experienced players here in the Reckoning roster. This man has been instrumental for multiple rosters throughout the year, but now he needs to step up. Reckoning. Their car has been out of gas. He needs to try and get it to the pump. He has the defuse kit. There's a little hope, but Hellranger, quick to snatch any away. Distraction. Yet again, the tag team Hell duo works out 10-1. Global Esports suffering from success right now.
Round after round, they're just going by so fast right now for Reckoning. No timeouts called. I think they might just have tapped out here, run out of fuel. It was an amazing run, make no mistakes, but here in the grand finals is pretty much been a tale of Global Esports and the kind of squad that they've built here hasn't even been scratched so far at this entire run to the grand finals, and looks like it's not about to change here as well. 3 maps in. Yeah, managed to do the casters thing right there, just as we say it. Trist gets a frag, but shouldn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. A push is coming in on the backstab here, back again. Wexy.
Burning, man. Ends up becoming toast. It's all on a Trist. 1 versus 2 without any armor to work with.
He could have denied the C4 here if only he was a second or 2 earlier on the timing, but he's got wind of this. And he's got an AK picked up as well. Unfortunately, no armor, only 40 HP to work with. He's gonna make it to B very early. Let's see if he can maybe catch one of the T's on transition before they're able to set up for the post plant.
They're already set up.
Yeah.
Fight's essentially coming to them, so they don't even have to worry right now. Leaping into the crosshair of Caramel. 11-1. You know, we've talked a lot about how Reckoning esports have improved throughout the tournament, but right now, what do you think they need to improve at? What do you feel like is that one missing element that's even making this grand final looks like not being contended whatsoever?
I think there's a variety of factors there, OG. One, I think straight up nerfs might have a part to play in this as well. It is one, I think, Reckoning Esports' first final that the squad has played at a prestigious tournament as this one. And for GE, they've been in countless amounts of finals in the national stage. So experience there definitely comes in allowing you to play this level-headed. Some of the performances we have seen as well from the players, I think, has been very different to what we saw them put up in the previous rounds, all the way up to the semi-finals. In terms of preparation, I think that has had a bit of a part to play as well. I think Global Esports have straight up come amazingly well prepared on these maps and the kind of executes. You've seen the auto sniper is in play. Let's go. It is time. Trist is the one to pull it off, and he mows down Ranger with it.
Like, I wish we had a tap into the comms. That would have been a real funny exchange of words. Alright, the auto sniper discovered. I mean, it is a pretty broken weapon. People might say, hey, not fair, not cool, bro, but at the end of the day, you play to win. If it's there in the game, it's all fair and good. So no foul play here, Trist. He gets the opener. It's on a Hellranger who might be just comfortable in the back seat, manning the map while his team sets the journey, which they have started off to get a little sweeter as Caramel finds that avenging frag on a Clouda. No, well, already playing ahead of it. Gets aggressive, but not spotted out just yet. I think Caramel might have just spotted the gun barrel, and that's a frag that might be too expensive. Caramel, an absolute beautiful display of the AWP. His eye and his aim so trained in the ways of the sniper that it's become one and the same. Oh, Betray. The flick is decent, but he has a lot more to do. And I guess there's already too much left undone. Should be the 12th round on the board for Global. It's all about just trying to save for this AWP. Ooh, a shot on a Caramel. Might get a little pad up on the stats. Not too bad after all. 12-1, Reckoning. That CD defense just crumbled towards mid.
Yeah, the two players towards connector just get picked one after the other there by Caramel. The immediate push towards B short also gets dismantled by the big green there, and I think that pretty much summed up how things have been going so far for Reckoning. The push, however, through underpass. See if Global Esports spot this out. They don't. Clouda. It's been quite a while since they've got the early opener onto Global Esports. Let's see if they can convert this man advantage into a round win, because Global Esports right now, they don't really have advanced positions. They've decided to play things slow. A minute 15 seconds remaining on the clock. The CTs having a pretty shored up defense right now.
Even off the bat of this man's advantage global, they have emphasized the control towards mid. The only problem here is Reckoning are not contesting this whatsoever. They leave themselves so vulnerable to things like maybe a backstab or a lurk, or even someone just holding for the rotation. This adventurous tendency of Global Esports have come to cost them in this round, at least for now, as Lightning Fast comes in with a recovery plan. He's good on the first. Hellfighter, I'm not really sure if he knows that there's a man aggressive through apps, but this B defense being shored up ensures the round for Reckoning. I assume that I spoke a little too fast yet again. Not gonna lie, give me a little bit of anxiety, but 12-2 nonetheless. Reckoning. Next round, perhaps, show us, but Global are making this quite the one-sided affair.
Yeah, Reckoning. Pick up a round, but it's a small light at the end of the tunnel. They've got a long way to go in this match if they are to even get close to GE at the moment. Last round of the first half coming through. They do have a decent buy, but GE, they're going with the train towards the B side. Early commitment by the looks of things. Defensive Molotov does buy Twist a little bit of time as he looks to move on the offense, and looks like he might not be spotted here. They check the corner. They do. They do. When don't they? And Wexy is fully blind. He's just sitting here inside the smoke. He's even had a key land on top of him there. Ay. Eagle out, Wimp down to Trey. Yeah, he's got a swarm of green players running at him. I think he manages to molly himself up there, expecting a quick push coming in from the rest of Jesus. He's got this knife out.
I like it, man. Give this man a medal.
Yeah, but
He's
not going to attempt it though. Lightning Fast is pretty much, I think, expecting the same on the other side. Well, see how this builds up. Yeah, he's going to try and push him through the smoke. They're just having fun at this point of time. Time has run out, and quite possibly Reckoning's run in the tournament as well. 3 rounds away from the title here. Global Esports, another massive performance in the first half here on Mirage. OG.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't think there's a story to tell here anymore. It's pretty much GE. It's their tournament to win, and they're pretty much at the finish line.
They're almost there. So many times has this journey been the hardest, but now it finally feels like Global have blossomed into a new flower. There've certainly been a lot that's been happening in terms of how much prep they've put in, how much work they've put in. In fact, Deathmaker easily nets himself a flurry of kills, a couple more skulls to add to his gargantuous collection. Dual Berettas from Vexy, he's certainly feeling adventurous today. Hey, if they're gonna go down, they're gonna go down in style. He's gonna go out of this guns blazing. Sadly, the guns ain't blazing all that much. Deathmaker already hot in his aim. Quad kill. And such a fitting end to this tournament for Global, right? They came into this looking like absolute tanks, butchering anybody who came in their way across the entirety of this tournament. And the grand finals has been quite the same. maintaining a solid form like this throughout the entire tournament is something that very few teams have tried to achieve. And I guess global esports this year is perhaps the best that's to come upon them, at least in CS.
The son of onto Trist. They're having fun at this point of time as well. They know this is far beyond recovery right now. Halap trying to clean things up, maybe overstepped his wealth, but Deathmaker gets only the one. The A side's completely wide open for the taking. Caramel, oh, blocks him out of the sky there. And he's just missed the second shot out though, and he's gonna get smoked back out. Makes things a little bit more interesting. There's a tag on a couple of players as well. Wimp as well as Cloud up pretty low. Stop. Wimp has been spotted out. Hellranger tagged down to 11 HP. Smoke goes down. 3v3 on the retake. A lot of shots missed, but they're making the push here. Wimp really low. It's a 2v2 situation, and Lightning Fast looking to give chase on this one. Clouda is going to be left the last man up, and an uncharacteristic miss. There you go.
Oh,
Rhea just backs the second time around. Caramel with the sneak headshots with the scout. Map, match, and championship point incoming here for Global Esports. 13 of them stacked up to close this match out, and it has been a long journey, a hard-fought one for Reckoning Esports, but GE are not going to be denied here today. This is their tournament to win. This is their moment. A scout for rifles to try and make this happen. Smoke towards mid. Caramel with the scout. Halaf continues to push this. And yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, overconfidence, but they still are in a position to net this one. Hellranger cheekily waiting on the other side of the smoke.
He
He's gonna
still
just
continue to
confirm-
clean
Yeah.
up, and Caramel with the scouts moved into position as well. He spots him out, shoots him in the back. Wexy brings it down to 1v1 to try and keep Reckoning Esports in the tournament. He gets the plant in and Lightning Fast.
Oh, no.
He's done
It's
it.
done.
It is done and dusted. The timer runs down. Lightning Fast. GGs are called. He's gonna celebrate this. He's gonna spend some
Look at
more
the
time.
fireworks. Look
The
at the
fireworks
fireworks.
with the flashbang all
And the
set up.
kiss.
And the kiss as well as he diffuses it in. 16-2. Congratulations to Global Esports. They are your champions of the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament, powered by Lenovo and Intel. OG, final thoughts on that matchup?
It a brutal display of skill from Global. But if you are Reckoning Esports, this should be a testament to how good you can be. Tournament long have they fought, and they've fought valiantly, looking stellar throughout their run. It's only in the end where their journey cuts short. But hey, you learn, you grow, you overcome. That's what makes you the best at the end. That's what Global have displayed, that they've done for the past 6 months. And boy, are the results worth all the pain and tears.
All right, with that, let's jump on back with Apple for the final shout-outs. Apple, a huge win for GE, and what a way to cement it. 16-2. Never a shadow of a doubt who was the better team in the server today.
They came in ready, guns blazing. They wanted to close it down. It was a wrap. 16-2, so impressive. And the champion finish that GE has always longed for. They achieved it, and it's a job well done. Congratulations once again, GE. You guys are the champions of the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament, powered by Lenovo and Intel. And we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. Job well done. I think you and Shade, you and OG summed it up all very perfectly. Any last thoughts?
I think it's a huge shout out to all the teams that came out. 230 teams that entertained us over the last 3.5 weeks, 24 days of amazing CSGO action. It's a long journey for most of these teams. Huge shout out to Reckoning Esports as well. This might not have been their day, but I think they've done enough in this entire tournament to cement their spot as one of the premier teams in India. It is one of the biggest finals that they've played so far, but here's to hoping that there's a lot more finals that they'll make it into, a lot more experience that they will gain on the way, and maybe 6 months or a year down the line, a G versus RE final ends up being quite different to what we saw today. But that being said, Global Esports haven't dropped a single map the entire tournament. I don't even think anyone took them double digits throughout this entire journey either. A flawless performance, and rightfully are your champions today.
Very clean, well deserved. Congratulations once again, GE. And this is actually a wrap of the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament. So guys, if you like what you see, you want to come back for future tournaments, do subscribe to this channel. Click that bell icon. You get notifications whenever we are live. Also, if you're down for some shopping and you want to check out our socials, links are in the description. My name is Apollonia. I was your host for the entirety of the tournament, with Shade Slayer as an amazing caster and analyst, and we had OG the low-res chicken as the other caster. Until then, hopefully we see you again next time. Good night and take care.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.